got to work my way back into the fucking intro.
Oh, well, yeah, that'll take a while.
You see, I got bumped out. Like, I was like, what the? How's that happen? I'm on like almost a year, and I've got to work a couple of weeks. And next thing you know, I'm knocked out over some bald guy I've never even seen before.
You got to go with the heat. They brought the heat last. Oh, yeah, that's 2 weeks ago.
I'm not talking. Yeah, and he was still in last week's.
He brought the heat 2 weeks ago, so he was in. Anyways, hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. This is the Vinyl Collection pre-show. We're just waiting for everyone to come in. So me and Chris Roberts thought we'd jump on and start.
Hey, that one comment didn't make the air, did it?
Oh no, don't worry about it.
Let's say if it did, guy, I'm just joking.
He's a funny guy.
Probably Chris Roberts. You enough to insult you. Not yet. Give it a couple of weeks.
I noticed you put out on your socials that you did a final run of your famous sticker, or was it a magnet?
Well, I did a sticker run initially, and then I did a very small magnet run because they sent me an offer for some samples, so I thought it would just be kind of fun to sell. Like, they sent me, like 12, so I figured I'd sell like 8, and then I changed my mind and only sold 6. So, and then I actually re-changed my mind and sold 1 more. So technically speaking, I sold 7, and I kept the rest to give out and to keep and stuff like that. But then, as you noticed, I ran another sticker run, and I've sold about half of those, a little less than half of those, which is great. I had 0 expectations. They're cheap to make and cheap to sell, so people seem to like them. It's weird to think something that you made is going to be floating around all over the country, and even in insignificant areas like Canada.
Well, we can only hope.
You got one, didn't you?
No.
I didn't send you one yet?
I didn't send you one? No.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I thought I did. I'll get you one out.
No, nothing.
Look, man, when you've sent out like 80 of them already, you kind of forget. You know what I mean? People, squeaky wheel, bro. You know what I mean? If you want one, I'll send you one for sure. No problem.
Well, I love how I don't know if this was like your sales pitch to drive sales. You said it's the final run. This is it. Then it's going back in the Disney vault.
Yeah, it is going to go back in the vault. If I ever do it again, I'm going to make it holiday related and switch the border to represent the color of the holiday. Like, let's say if it's St. Patrick's Day, it'll be green around it instead of white, or Halloween, it'll be orange. And that's just an if. Maybe not. I don't know. I initially just did it because, like I said, this company sends me deals. They're called Sticker Mule. We'll give them a free plug if anybody cares. And it's pretty neat. They send you offers constantly. And one of them I bit, and you can send in any pattern you want. So like you, Bill, if you had a stack of your favorite Bob Dylan albums or something, like a little picture that you made, or even a picture of your kids or whatever, you could send it into them and they'll die cut it. That's one. And they have ones that are clear. So it's like you can see through it. You have round ones. You have various shapes and sizes, and they send you out offers from time to time. So like the last batch was 50 for $20, and they actually end up sending you more. I usually get about 56 when they send them to me, but they're actually selling you 50. So everything you get over that's kind of a bonus.
Sticker Mule. I'm writing that down.
It's dude, they're awesome, and I'm sure they even ship to Canada. There might be a little bit of difference to Canada, but I can't imagine as much. Like the shipping wise, maybe they might charge you a couple extra bucks for Canada, but it's still well worth it.
Yeah, probably an extra $20.
No, I don't think so. So.
Like those business card printing companies, they'll free shipping, $20 for 2,000 business cards, and then you put in your Canadian address. They're like, $40 shipping for you, sir.
Well, if it works out that way, then give them my address and then I'll ship it to you, because they're not that heavy. There's no way it should cost that much. I could see it being like $10 maximum. And even then, it would still be worth it because you're still getting way under $1 a unit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So go check out Chris Roberts' social media there and
Yeah,
pick
this is
up
the
one of
vinyl
his
cast. We
stickers.
talk about vinyl stickers. See, those are
That's
actually
right.
vinyl stickers, so it works in.
Good tie-in. Yeah. I would think you'd have no problem selling those all the time. I was kind of surprised you were going to lock it down.
Well, I don't know. I hate kind of I don't know. Bait. I don't know. I don't want it to come off weird. You know what I mean? Like, hey, buy my stuff, support me. I don't know.
Dude,
just you
created that.
I know. I'm just a little modest, Bill. You know what I mean? I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. Like, I'd rather just give them away, but you know, hey, times are hard, man. Sometimes you got to make a buck.
Dude, you did this art project to, you know, gather all of, like you said, the Mario horde.
Yeah.
And you know, it took you effort and took you money. Why not? It's
and I mean, not that it matters to the person buying it, but I actually reinvest it because I still have, you know, like 114 to get, and a lot of them are donated, which, well, I even hate to say donated. A lot of them are gifted. Forget that donated part. Strike that from the record. A lot of them are gifted, but, you know, I also buy some too. So,
yeah.
I'm not a museum, so I really hate it when YouTube guys are like, these were donated to my collection. It's like, dude, shut up. I hate that shit.
Tune in later in the show once we get going, because I got something in the mail donated to me. Surprise. Blind opening coming here. So that'll be exciting.
Better click like and subscribe.
When you get to be a big YouTuber, you know, people start sending you stuff.
Well, you know, whenever you start going to Toys R Us and buying Transformers and and putting Bruce Springsteen albums on your channel, you become a big YouTuber, Bill.
Absolutely. That's all it takes. Hey, I want to welcome Kevin Buried on Mars in the chat. Kevin's in the chat, so it's good to see him there. He's keeping an eye on us. He will be along at some point. He's I don't know if we're allowed to say it, but apparently he's going to be a fantasy guy now.
I'm proud of you, Kevin. I'm proud of you, dude.
I'm not.
No, I am. I've been a big fantasy football player for man, it feels like 20 years now, or pretty close. So keep at it, Kevin. And look, there will be vinyl, Kevin. I promise.
Next, Kevin's going to be watching wrestling and stuff next, I think.
Well, hey, he's getting enlightened. And you got to watch that Snyder cut, Kevin. I'm telling you. And, you know, I came in so fired up to break your balls on it, but I'm not even going to.
Oh, that's nice of you.
Yeah. Well, you know, because he's doing the fantasy football. No, he's doing the fantasy baseball. I can't do that to him. Oh, you're Deke's League? Well, now I guess I'm going to have to break your balls then. No, I don't even know Deke. Deke seems like a nice guy. Just joking, Deke.
Yeah, got to get Deke on this show, too.
He likes the records.
He's a musicologist in an encyclopedic mind of music history. Yeah. Did you listen to Stern last week? Or was it this week?
The only day I haven't heard the whole show was today. Okay. I listened to about I don't know, the first hour of today, which was hilarious. I love it when they play people messing up on news and everything. That lady with the did you listen today?
I haven't heard today's yet. No, I'm still catching up on last week.
Well, there was I think I remember a little bit about it when it happened, because you know a lot of these things are a little older, and he brings them back up. You know, when like with some of the famous ones, it's like Casey Kasem when he had a meltdown and he didn't realize he had a hot mic, or he realized, but he just didn't think people were going to hear it and stuff like that, or Rush Limbaugh, things like that, right? Yeah. Well, this lady, she was a weather announcer from a little channel in Kansas City, and every Saturday they have what does she call it? Catterday, I guess. So I guess as she's showing the news, she'll randomly insert pictures of cats that maybe people send in. And some people sent in, hey, Miss Lobo or Lobo Bob. Some people sent in a picture of a cat that they called a Kittler. And it had like, it was a white cat, but it had like a little black mustache, you know, like right here under the nose.
Yeah.
And she's not realizing it was a Hitler reference, and apparently she got in a little hot water. So it was pretty hilarious, man. So that first hour of the show is great. I mean, I'm sure the rest of it is too, but I really enjoyed it. He did kind of like a recap episode at the beginning of the last few days. The big tough guy that called in yesterday and a couple things like that. So it was a good show. Anything stick out to you the last few days, or
I was
you
just
brought
going
it
to
up?
say
So.
how they did another Stump the Buoy where
Oh man, that was rough.
Name that tune.
And you know what? I got 100% on that. So I stumped the buoy as well.
I'm always shit on Stump the Buoy because it's all 80s crap that just drives me nuts.
But
like,
he's
no one should know that.
He's been in the radio business, and he was always fancies himself this knower of all. And you know, the thing is he was rusty, and you could tell. But I don't know, man. Stacy Q, Two of Hearts. You never heard that song?
I heard them all, but I couldn't tell you their titles.
The only one that I had trouble with was I can't even remember it now. I did get it at the time. I can't even remember it, but it was the dude. He had that. It was some random novelty song, the one hit wonder. That one was a little tough. It took me a second. So if there was a time limit, I probably wouldn't have got that one, but I definitely got it before the reveal. I was happy. I was proud of myself. I stumped the buoy.
Good. That music though. Oh God. Ugh. They never play something around like, oh yeah. It's always like, oh. and Gary knows it, man. He knows it exactly.
Yeah. And you know, they used to do Win Fred's Money too, and that was a really good segment. I used to love that because Fred is a genius, man.
Just the Fred moments where someone would ask for like a Fred moment and they'd play the Fred theme song and then he would just say what's been on his mind. I love that.
Oh, dude, Fred has gotten so much. Like, I thought whenever Artie left the show and they hadn't like replaced the Artie chair, the Jackie chair, I thought the show was going to dip a little bit. I mean, not to oblivion, but I did like that dynamic of that third person in the studio. Yeah. And Fred is he's the third person. You don't need, because not only does he always does his drops, which he's been doing that all along. When he does his Ronnie, oh man, I can listen to him do that Ronnie all day, or even the Gary for that matter. I can hear him do that all day.
Yeah, it's a couple good Ronnie shows last week.
Yeah, Ronnie came back with a vengeance, man. He had a good little run this week. It's good stuff with Ronnie.
Have you been following how Shuley has left the show? Even though they didn't announce it?
I did not know that, but I did notice something because they had Tan Mom on the other day and Shuley didn't come on. So I knew something was up. So I didn't know that. Is there a reason behind it?
He's launched his own podcast in the meantime, but as you know, he's moved to Alabama.
Yeah.
And apparently during this the COVID year, they had asked him to go down to part-time hours. So like half his salary living in,
Alabama. Well, he'd probably still be living the same life.
I think this was before he moved. This is when he's still trying to live in New York City.
Yeah, you can't make it on that.
And half the salary, and Wolfie's coming in and taking his content, and so he said he left very amicably, and they were all, good luck,
sure.
and
right.
Howard took a minute to say good luck and all that. It just bugs me that every time their on-air personalities leave the show, and this is broadcasting everywhere,
right?
They never let people say goodbye to the audience.
And not only do they never let them say goodbye, they rarely, unless it's a big blow up like Artie or what was that one guy that used to be their producer? Had the big gambling problem there for Casey. That was another guy. Sometimes they'll bring him back up and they'll talk about him, but sometimes, and of course Jackie. But sometimes they'll leave the show, like their whole news department. Remember that was like such a big thing when they came on Howard 101, and then it's just like, it's gone.
Well, and Brent left a year ago as well.
And that's leaving. A drag, man. That's a drag because
I would love to talk to Howard and say, you say you're so anti, broadcasting, and you go against all the broadcasting rules. Why do you do what all these other broadcasters do and just cut these guys off without letting them say goodbye to the audience?
Yeah, and you know what? And Brent had really carved himself a real good niche on the show too. And and especially Shuley has been a really big part. Plus, Shuley's been a big thing behind the scenes as far as writing and everything. So that's kind of a bummer, man.
Yeah.
But
But
I didn't know that Brent left, but I had a feeling because he hadn't been on. But with the COVID thing, I wasn't quite sure who just wasn't making the cut, or if I knew something had to be up with Brent because they hadn't done any updates of any of his shenanigans with him and his wife. And
yeah, he left super quietly. He started his own
jackhammer
thing on Twitch. He has a Twitch channel, like the Brent Hatley show or the Brent Hatley channel. And he's apparently programming it like a real on TV channel, but it's on Twitch. But I don't, whatever. Best of luck. And then Shuli has his podcast, which is it's been entertaining, but he kind of started the podcast by saying this isn't going to be all about Stern. This is Shuli show, and then it's been nothing but Stern stuff so far.
Right. He has to build an audience, and of course he's going to. I mean, come on, what's he famous for?
Exactly.
Nobody wants to hear him talk.
We get
about
to hear
Julie.
the stories. We get to hear his stories unfiltered, not afraid of, am I saying too much Stern-wise?
Yeah.
He can just be unfiltered and say it. He can tell us like Bigfoot just got arrested a couple months ago. And he actually got to talk about that story because it was Sirius Radio that turned Bigfoot into the police.
Was it sexual shenanigans?
No, Bigfoot, he was having one of his convos with Wolfie at the time. Bigfoot, for those of you who don't listen, he's part of the Whack Pack, a big, huge monster of a man, not very...
very simple.
Very simple, but living on his own, making it out. Anyways, he was having a regular interview with Wolfie, and he described how he got so fed up with his housing situation, he set the place on fire. And so Wolfie's like, what? What do you mean? He's like, and then he kind of incriminated himself, and Wolfie just passed that on to the safety department of Sirius. Like, I don't know what we're.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're talking about arson there, I'm assuming.
In a rooming house with like other people live there. So Sirius had to alert the police.
Had no choice. Yeah.
But there's no talk of that on the Howard Stern show, just on.
Well, there's one thing about Howard, he don't want to get sued. You could even see him when he'll dance around topics sometimes when they come up. He always tries to throw out the allegedly, and we don't know about any of that. When someone makes a serious accusation or something, he's like, I don't know anything about that. He makes sure to quickly throw that in there because he's very well versed in not getting sued, I'm assuming. He has to have been sued a lot over the years, I can imagine, with as many employees and libel suits and everything. It's probably a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, man,
like I said, I just wish he'd let people, like when some of the Whack Packers died and he gives a nice eulogy and stuff like that. Yeah. That's nice. And I can listen to the whole show, just him talking about do the same thing with people leaving. Why not? They're not your enemy. Unless it's Stuttering John. That was different.
Yeah, but the way some of them go out on the wrong way. Like Stuttering John, I mean, that's he was taking a lot of his stuff and reusing it on Jay Leno's show. Like they were ripping him off directly on a very personal, direct basis. You can only imagine why he'd be a little bitter about that.
Mm-hmm.
He's been ripped off so many times. Even the whole TMZ concept was a rip off of Howard Stern, at least the early TMZ. Where they used to come up to people and ask them really crazy questions. That was a whole Stuttering John ripoff.
Sure. Yeah.
It really was. The guy had actually came to him, that Harvey, whatever his name is, and said he wanted to go in partnership with Howard. And he's like, nah, I'm good. And the guy just did it on his own.
Right. That's right. Forgot about that.
That was a whole ripoff of him. Anyways, got Bandy in the house.
Hi, my Bandy.
Was this the Howard Stern talk show? What's going on?
Yeah, we're killing some time, man. It's
the
radio related
show.
Sort of. Yeah.
We're waiting for everyone to get here, so it's good to see you.
I'm here now, so.
Yeah.
Bandy's here. Should we start the real final show, or
got some lights and everything going on there, Bandy?
I'm actually in the
staging room
of our new store.
Looks good,
and
dude.
This is where a lot of the photos of the product are taken.
Oh yeah!
Wow,
that's a nice setup. I really like that.
Yeah.
And then Bandy also does his OnlyFans website stuff.
Yeah, he makes a lot of money.
Unbelievable. And fun fact, This is the first time I've worn a shirt that's not black on this show.
I was wondering that. The color
A
really
yellow
stuck
shirt
out.
on.
Yeah. I don't think I ever seen you in that color. It works.
Mhm. Yeah.
This is the only yellow shirt that I own. Another fun fact, that was the first time I've worn this. And this is making its debut right
Is this
now.
the debut? A Bandy debut? Bandy exclusive?
Yeah.
You got to hit the like button for that.
Debut
Hit that like
wearing the
button.
shirt.
This might be a debut for me on this show. My Alice Cooper shirt.
Yeah, this is a Ice Files. My buddy Mike from Texas. This is his band, one of his bands. Check him out on Bandcamp.
Ice what?
Files.
Ice
Stats.
Files? What?
Files.
Yeah, Files.
Ice
like
Files.
X-Files.
Like X-Files, but Ice Files.
Right.
There you go.
One sec. I'm going to go grab my phone real quick. Make sure it's on silent. Right back.
All right.
How are you doing?
Well, here we are. Good, man. Good. It's short turnaround from our last episode of the vinyl collection, but it's fun to get another one in. Last episode.
Was it last Friday?
Yeah, I think it was Friday. I mean, that episode's doing great. People are tuning into that one. Appreciate people seeing that.
Nice.
I think Bobby on there, right? Has brought in the young crowd.
That's right. Yeah, Bobby was awesome on the show. It was fun. Listen to him. Did a good job.
Yeah, totally. Well, let me, you know what? Let's just start. I'll play the little thing I made. I didn't get a chance to spend much time on it this week because of our short turnaround, but I got a little intro. Maybe you've seen it. Maybe you haven't. Chris Roberts won't be happy with it, but
No,
here we go.
that sucks.
Back in a minute.
Cool. Floral Shop by Macintosh Plus is what kind of blew up, and it's branched off into so many different directions. You got future funk with people like It's Music, but now that's become its own thing. There are future funk albums like the old Diddy Bop from Japan. Where they really blew it up because one of their songs, they would cut it up and make it like a back in 2014, like the old Diddy Bop from Japan.
Oh my god, that was great.
Again, big thank you to the
so
Retro
funny.
Nonsense crew for coming in, especially Bob and Duke. Bob, man, how good was he?
He was great. Honestly, and nothing against the rest of you guys, but that was my favorite part of the show. I had to message Duke right away afterwards, singing Bob's praises.
Nice.
Young and confident, and guy knew his stuff.
I think me
I
and
know
Bob
this
need to
is-
start our own show.
There you go. I was going to say, it's not like this is a huge show or anything, but not nervous in the least.
Yeah, because most people, when they get on podcasts, they have a little bit of nerves or tripping over their words or searching for words. Man, Bob knew exactly what he wanted to say. So relaxed.
Oh.
Yep. I would have loved to have been able to, unfortunately, you guys see the feed. It would have been nice to have him up live and then just cut back and forth to all of us like, what? and then like it was in this video, and then Bandy full on. You were filled with pride, I'd say.
Yeah.
Good.
You and Duke. It's like he had two fathers.
It was a fun show. And like I said, people are finding, if you haven't seen it yet, tune in, check out this channel, go back and see last week's The Vinyl Collection episode 45. It was a barn burner. It was a good one. I even showed, I think, three records. There he is.
What's up,
Kevin.
Who was the guy on the Stern Show, the kid on the Stern Show? He lived in Harlem, and he was a white kid. He was living in Harlem, and Howard was fascinated with him for a while.
Oh, yeah. Is that the guy that was also, he did some cameos in some movies and stuff like that? Or what was his name? Kind of balding a little bit, but not.
I don't know what he looked like. That's when I started exiting the show, when he was just fixated on this kid, and I thought he was the most boring kid. I'm like, man, we went from Eric the actor to this guy. Is he still on it? I don't even know.
Oh, you mean he was a whack pack guy, or one
he was just one of the interns.
One of his employees. Yeah,
one of the employees.
Oh, was it Mamet?
Mamet, yes.
Yeah.
That's when I
barely
was like,
see him anymore.
He's
Good.
not on much. Yeah, they did one segment with him a couple of weeks ago, but
That
like,
was
I've
worth
never
it
heard them
if you watched
try. I've never heard them try so hard to make someone interesting before. Like that was a struggle every episode.
I'm a bad cowboy.
Right. Yeah, they did get some good drops from him though.
Bad cowboy.
That's the thing, though. That was weird, right? Those voices started appearing on the show out of nowhere, seemingly without introduction, and they became, big players in the show. Mamet and the WEEKLY or whatever his name is.
Well, even the Chris, the gay guy.
Yeah,
he really started. And there was a time where I was having trouble distinguishing that Chris dude's voice from Mamet's voice. They sound similar.
Yeah, very much.
And I was like, which one is this? But yeah.
That, and that was a turn of the show because he suddenly has a writer's room and a bunch of performers, coming on the show. So the show got more layered, I would say. It had more depth to it, even though maybe the Mamet turned some people off. But the show did get a bit more depth for me.
I don't know. I can't go. Like, it's just way too much. It's way too much content.
Yes.
I can't even listen to any podcasts anymore. Like, it's too much.
Come back and live beside me. House is still for sale. And then you get to have an hour-long commute again. 90 minutes.
No, that's all right. The house across the street from me is available, Bill.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Does it have a basement, though?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep, it does.
There you go, Bill. Easy peasy.
Yeah.
I can't afford Kevin's town.
I've seen the prices in your town. They are comparable.
What's the house across the street going for?
899.
Yeah.
900.
Yeah. See, the houses I would like to move into, that's the exact price they're at. 900.
Yeah. But that's reasonable here. Like, I was surprised. I was expecting over $1 million easily.
That's like Matt Bandy territory, man. That's a lot.
It's Canadian dollars too.
Well, but the housing is crazy. It's ridiculous. We still make the same amount you guys make. We still make the same just in Canadian dollars,
Yeah,
I don't know how any kids can start today. Like, it is insane.
There'll be a collapse at some point.
Yeah.
It has to be. That's why
I think
they will. It always
see
happens.
That are checking out the house beside me. It's like, how are you guys? Where are you going to get the money from to buy?
They're going to go into debt. They're going to go into debt, pay on it for about 10, 15 years, go bankrupt, sell it, lose it. Bank will win. They'll lose.
There you go.
Yeah. I think the only play I would have is to sell and then rent somewhere until the bubble bursts and then get back in. But then that's a huge, huge, huge gamble. Could work. Miss LeBobob asks, does it have vinyl siding? Just trying to keep it up.
Very good. Very good.
I think so. It's partly vinyl sided, at least. I'm pretty sure they put vinyl siding on.
All right, so here we are. We're back. It's the vinyl collection proper. All the right people are here this week. We got the right crew in, the right panel of guests. This is the vinyl collection where we go through our vinyl collection at some point, and we open them up, look through them, see what kind of surprises are inside, and we share it along with you, the audience, who is in the chat. We welcome you to the chat. We will talk to you in the chat and welcome you. It's good to see you. Thanks for coming by. Don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the like button, and all that stuff. My name is Bill. With me is Chris Roberts in the top duck corner. He's got top duck billing
Got the
today.
duck.
Oh,
And Matt Bandy below him in the photo studio, the OnlyFans photo studio, and Kevin Barrett on Mars, Mr. Fantasy. Dear
Yes.
Mr. Fantasy.
Yes.
Play us a tune. Did you do okay?
I don't know. I
Did
have no
you
idea.
get Alex Rodriguez and
No.
Fernando Valenzuela? And
Are you in 2012 right now? What?
just joking.
I could have picked Pujols. I was surprised he's still playing.
man, that guy's been playing forever.
Yeah, I think I got a GameCube game with him on the cover.
Is he? I don't know. Is he just DHing now, or is he still playing the field at all?
It said first base, so
Mm.
I imagine he's DH though.
Yeah, he's an American League guy, right? So on the
Yeah,
on the Angels.
Angels.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So this is going to be it for today's panel, I guess. Not the full slate as normal, but that's okay. We'll get to see some stuff this week. Again, thank you, Bob and the Retro Nonsense crew for showing up last week. Hope to have them back soon. It was a fun time. And when we come back, it'll be our 1-year anniversary, I think. So I'm anxiously anticipating what the panel will have ready for me on that show. I can't wait.
Well, we take our cues from the host, so you get the ball rolling, and we'll just roll with it.
Will stuff start coming in the mail this week for me to have ready for that show, or
well, if I get something in the mail, obviously something's coming back to you. So you get that ball rolling, we'll roll it with you.
Kevin's got trust issues, Bill. He's not sending out nothing before you do. You got a
I just don't think
reputation.
of it. I don't think of it. So
Well, I did mention earlier, I don't know if you guys saw in our pre-vinyl show, our pre-show, I mentioned that I did get something in the mail that and when you're big YouTubers, people start sending you stuff in the mail and you start getting
a
stuff.
donation.
Looks
Donation.
like a bill. It's probably a bill. You owe somebody some money.
I'm going to open this live on the air. And so hit the subscribe, hit the like, because this is some crazy stuff. And when you become a big YouTuber, you'll get these perks. People will send you stuff. By the way, if you want to know my address, DM me. I'll send my address, no problem. It was weird because I found it in the mailbox. They didn't even have to put my name on it. It's just a gift for you. They knew. The mailman knew who's the guy on the street with the huge YouTube channel. Oh, I'm going to put in his mailbox. So, guys, this is going
Ed McMahon send this to you?
It's a gift for Start to Continue YouTube channel for all the content they give you. So, sealed. I'm going to open this up right now. Oh, boy. This is going to be big. Oh, yeah. You know, Chris Roberts has a side deal in the magnet business, and I got my own magnet right here.
Wow.
The Hans team. That's a fridge magnet with a pad right there.
Wow.
You can sketch your ideas onto this pad.
Who's Hans?
Free advertising for Hans.
If we only had a soundboard where we can drop that wonk wonk wonk.
Hey, that's a big. I appreciate. Thanks, Hans. I appreciate that. I'm glad. Hope you're enjoying the show, the channel, and we'll get some more music out to you on the channel. Appreciate that. Magnet. Got nowhere to put it. So that's pretty fun, eh?
Yeah, that was thrilling.
Mrs. LeBeau-Bob has a question.
Yeah, it's not good.
Is it where you make imaginary teams made up of historical players and then you roll the dice to move the game action along, or am I thinking of another game? That would be
Think another game.
That would be more fun. It sounds more fun to me. Kevin is in a fantasy league where you pick a roster of players on your fantasy team and then you follow their stats throughout the season, and whoever has the best stats wins the league. And is there money involved in this league?
Yeah, $20.
But what could you win?
The pool, Bill. Come on.
200 and wait. I can't do math.
How many teams are in it?
12.
Yeah, you'll get probably first place will probably be 220, 250, 280. It's just depending on how many places pay. Stuff like
I don't
that.
know how it breaks down. I don't.
It
know
probably
if, like,
pays
second
top
place.
three. Probably most will pay 1 through 3 and first through third.
I'm not expecting to win anything. I joined it because Deke asked me, and he only had 5 guys in there, and I'm like, oh, what the heck? Sure, I'll join it. And then I get on today, and there's 12 people in there. I'm like, man, it's gonna take a while.
Did you do research beforehand?
I went to a website.
Mrs. LeBeau-Bob, if you're being serious with the question, I'm not quite sure with the follow-up, but I'll give it to you the briefest way possible. You draft players from existing teams. Nobody can have the same player as you. You have a certain amount of players in your league, real players like Kevin and his friends. They all draft players. You put them in lineups. You have to lineups every so often, and based on the real player statistic, you accrue points. Whoever gets the most points wins their matchup. Now, some people do it by the lead, like by the year who has the most points. Some people have head-to-head. Ultimately, whoever does the best using real players and the real statistics, that's who wins.
Right.
So that's about the easiest way I could say it.
That's a good explanation.
Yeah. Pretty sure I said that exactly, but that's good.
I don't think so. I don't think you did. I'm looking at what's
Appreciate that.
happening over here in the comment section. I don't want her to think we're ignoring her. I mean, she's sticking it out every week. Come on.
Oh no! Super appreciate Miss Elba Bob.
Exactly. We ain't
Top
gonna do that.
sporter. Top sporter. I hope she caught the audio I put out earlier this week, or was it yesterday? It was Larry Campbell's final performance with the Never Ending Tour, Bob Dylan Live from 2004. So check that out. And it starts with Bob telling a joke as he introduced the band, which is a rare privilege when you get to hear Bob not only talk to the audience, but tell you a joke. And it was funny. So check that out. Okay. I will continue with showing stuff, the vinyl adjacent business, where we show stuff that's kind of adjacent to... sorry?
Some more magnets?
Hey, this is I'm using this right now. I'll be using this throughout the show. So that was very good. I don't know if I showed you guys this. I found a Guitar Hero Metallica. I never had this. Never had this particular one.
Starting to creep up in price.
I mean,
that's about a $30 game.
Maybe a
little higher.
It's loaded with tracks. See along the top there? It is.
No pun
They
intended.
never have this many tracks.
That is definitely one you want to look out for if you're hunting for games. I mean, even to keep, it's a great. If you're into Guitar Hero, it's pretty awesome.
Oh, it's not just Metallica songs either, huh?
Right. It's all these
It's
Metallica
got that Dynamite
plus,
song. That's a great song.
plus these guys. So
Well, apparently
that one is creeping up.
Apparently that came out before Death Magnetic. There was like a few tracks on there that was like the preview for the new upcoming album, and the mixes on there are more desirable than the ones that were on the album.
That's another thing there.
crazy.
Because I don't know, there's something people were saying that the mixes on there are better. I think it's only a few songs, but
This is with bass player Rob. So modern Metallica. They're all in the game. So that was neat. I will be keeping this. I do love my Guitar Hero, and for some reason I never got that. I think it was always expensive was the reason. And I also found, this is more adjacent. Earlier last week I found Despicable Me 2 in 3D, and today I found it, the first one in 3D, in Blu-ray 3D.
Those are so good.
And the 3D gags they do are a lot of fun. The kid just loved Despicable Me 2 in 3D. It's a lot of fun. So it's not the cheapest.
That's not bad.
But yeah, you get all three versions on there. The DVD, the digital, the Blu-ray, and the 3D. Yeah.
Do you have a 3D TV?
Yeah, the projector down here does 3D.
No. Okay. Not a modern 3D TV, though.
Yeah, no, it's not a film reel-to-reel projector down here. It's a modern projector that does Blu-ray 3Ds quite effectively in HD. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay.
Oh, I also wanted to, I forgot to mention this on last week's show. I showed this Van Morrison, and I forgot to show you the main, what's different about this one. If you look at like the, what do you call that? The inventory number on it is a CCK 46093. But the on the album, it's just a CK. So there's an extra C on the spine here. The extra C means this was a Columbia House Canada release where they manufactured it themselves. And that was oh, that's just their inventory number, the K. It's the extra C, I guess, means Columbia House. And today's find was this MU, the best of Jethro Tall, This is another early CD, first gen CD, still on Chrysalis Records. And this one, what do we got?
There's a few of those Jethro Tall collections for greatest.
CF2 Chrysalis. Bear with me a second. I'm trying to remember. Here it's actually printed on the CD. It says right there. Let's show the Chris Roberts. It says it's actually a Columbia House disc right on the disc on this one. So it's interesting how Columbia House did that with the vinyl. They would get the license and print off their own, press their own vinyl releases to save money. I guess they were still doing that with CDs. I'm not sure if it's really cheaper materials like they were doing with the vinyl, but they obviously found a way to save money by manufacturing it themselves. And that's what they did with this. MU, the best of Jethro Tall. It's got the good stuff on there. Aqualung, Thick as a Brick. It's just the short version of Thick as a Brick. Anyways, good stuff on there. Early CD. And
so that Van Morrison one, it doesn't say Columbia House on it anywhere?
No. This one doesn't.
Because my Columbia House CDs from back in the day, like there's actually like a black bar with, and it's written on there like this is a Columbia House CD.
Oh. No, the only thing I could see was it, and I looked this up on Discogs, was this extra C on the house number or the inventory number, whatever the hell you call that number. Miss LeBob, she was thinking of the game called Stratomatic Baseball. With
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Never played it.
No. Anyways, that's it for my vinyl adjacent today. Just a few things. Matt Bandy, what do you got for us?
I don't have any vinyl adjacent stuff this week, but I do have a new pickup. I got a new record over the weekend. So I'm going to show that first, if that's all right.
Please. I see you got your 7-inch box there. Do you?
I do. I got my 7 inches here.
Is it always in the car?
No, actually, I went home first and then came to this location because it's have better internet here, and it's quiet. It's not a room full of crazy kids.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, I went up and went record shopping with my daughter last Saturday. We ran some errands. We went to Michael's, got her some craft stuff to make some jewelry. We've been making jewelry together. And she went to the record store with me. And I couldn't believe it. That kid, she dug through records with me. She, on her own accord, she just started looking through recorks. It was amazing.
It's a special feeling awesome when they do that.
Yeah. It was so. I mean, she has a little bit of interest in music, but she's 9 years old. She's listens to honestly, I don't even know what she listens to. I've been trying to show her some things, and she likes some of the pop punk. But she was digging through the records with me, and she didn't complain once. I couldn't believe it. My wife and son, whenever they go to the record store with me, they're bitching within 5 minutes. But she was a trooper. She started in the extreme metal section. I was like, maybe you don't want to look in there. And she's like, oh, what is that? And she saw some pretty. She's like, everything's so mean. She was her description of they all look mean. Well,
what does blood oath mean?
Yeah. When I was there, there was a record that I've been needing to pick up, but hadn't until today. So I got the latest. Well, not actually. This isn't the latest. This is Volume 1 that Sturgill Simpson put out of Cutting Grass, the Butcher Shop Sessions. So I've talked about Sturgill Simpson on the show before. He's, I guess, what you. It's kind of hard to classify the music that he makes. His first record that he put out was kind of alternative. They described it as alt country. And then his other, like every record he's put out sounds completely different from the last. His second record was still a country record, but it had a lot of like psychedelic feel and influences in it. His third record that he put out was influenced by blues and soul music. He had a soul band backing him up onto that. And then his fourth record, his fourth record is that's even harder for me to. I have no idea what to classify that. It's like it's strange, and I recommend listening. It's really good. It actually has a anime that goes along with it. That's on Netflix, so you can listen to the record while watching the TV show or watching the anime. It syncs up with it. So then he went when he put out during lockdown. He recorded 2 volumes of this Cut and Grass, where he goes back through his back catalog of records and he does new arrangements of his songs in bluegrass. And this record is amazing. It is so good. I didn't know about it until a few months ago when a buddy of mine is like, "Hey, have you heard that new Sturgill Simpson?" And yeah, it's
using it,
and they're all conducive to becoming bluegrass songs. It's so good. And he's got quite a few players on the record here too. We got a shot of the band with them there. I don't know if there's any regular members in his band that played on this record. But this is a double disc. The volume 2 hasn't come out yet. I think it's coming out pretty soon. We got the gatefold here. We got a shot. I guess that's where they recorded. We got all the names of the players. This would honestly be a great starting point for his music if you haven't heard it before. And this was the Indie Store exclusive color.
looks expensive.
No, it wasn't too bad. Normal price for a double disc. So on
green.
We got the green.
Very John Deere.
Yeah, and just wait till you see this. I thought this was so cool. You got yellow.
Oh, matches your shirt.
So you got your green and yellow.
Oh,
Nice.
How cool is that? Yeah.
the grass matches the tractor.
Grass matches the tractor. Yeah. There you
Yeah.
go. So yeah, that's my most recent pickup. And
And
I
that
highly
had
recommend it. Highly recommend this. It's so
That has a
good.
volume number on it.
That's volume 1. So he did volume 1 and volume 2. And
Okay.
2 is looks pretty much the same, except it's black and blue color scheme on the layout. And so that has been digitally released, but there isn't a physical release on vinyl yet, and that should be coming out according to my buddy at the record store. There's like pre-orders out for it, so we'll pick that up once that comes out. But yeah, this is all the tracks on here are pretty much from all the first 3 records. I don't think there's any tracks on here from his latest one.
There's no covers on there.
No, he did cover a Nirvana song. He covered "Come As You Are" on, I believe, his 3rd record.
And bluegrass is on there.
No, this is all bluegrass. But he covered the Nirvana song on his 3rd record, which I'm blanking on the name of it. He does it's like in his style. But there is, I think there's one song on here. So the song "Long White Line," I guess that's one of his songs, but he didn't write that. All the other songs were written by him. So yeah, highly recommend.
All right. Cool. Very good. That's it for your opening?
Yeah, that's my newest pickup.
Good, because Chris Roberts has been vibrating all week, waiting to show off some stuff.
Oh no!
Oh yeah!
I gotta make a comment on your beard, Chris. It's looking nice. It's coming in.
It got a little bit of bend right here because I had to go to the store earlier, and we're still required. So it kind of.
Right, what you need to do? Let me give you some advice here.
Yeah, you go ahead. Give me a tip here.
I know it.
I was gonna brush it before I got on, and anyway, thank you.
That's good for downstairs too.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't come.
And frankly, the hairs they match. You wouldn't even notice the difference.
Learned a lot right there.
Just doesn't stop. Just doesn't stop.
Right. It's just one long cube. Okay, so after a few weeks ago, I got me a really nice working cassette deck, and I just really thrilled about it, and it kind of like invigorated me as far as digging out some of my cassettes. So I found my childhood tapes, which some of these were my father's tapes, which I don't have. The other ones are up there, but it's wild. I went through a phase where I was recording a lot of stuff off to radio, and apparently I started recording this DJ. His name was John Lee Walker. I guess he must have been an early Howard Stern clone, but listening to that was crazy. I think I heard some shit that no one's heard in like 30-something years the other day when I was going through that. But anyway, I digress. But KTEL, isn't that a Canadian company?
Yeah.
KTEL. So my dad was a big buyer of KTEL tapes. So I think it kind of probably why I lean more towards greatest hits kind of compilations as opposed to full albums, even though I do like them too. But so I found all the KTEL. I won't show them all, but just some of them I remember listening to a lot. We got Chart Action 83, because you have to have that. All right.
Action.
It's got 50 songs on it.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then
God.
it's got the little reflector tape. Then you know it's an official KTEL product right there. But Chart Action right there. And then we got Street Beat. So this is new music and hot sounds. And you know it because it says it right there. So
God, they never did just 8 songs on a record before.
But I mean, look at Chart Action. Well, okay, charts kind of makes sense because it's on the charts. But here's Street Beat. You got Flash Dance. I'll Tumble for You. Love is a Stranger. Just Got Lucky. Give It. And this one isn't that good. Safety Dance. I don't know. But there was one I was listening to, or I was looking at, and the mix. I mean, because like the old top 40 stations, they had all the genres, and that's essentially what these tapes are. But here's another good. I remember listening to this one a lot. Hit after hit, Chart Busters. They really like to work the word chart in on it. This one doesn't have the official sticker, so I think I changed the case because it is KTEL. But I got another KTEL tape there, and I remember liking this one more than when I looked at the songs on it. I don't know. It's not as good as I remember, but you got the Hit Express. Okay,
Wow.
You got that little train just ramming through a mirror of itself or something. I don't know, because it looks like the stuff that's shattering reflects I don't know what's going on there, but you Canadians.
I like that cover.
Yeah, I did too. That one felt like the most nostalgic. When I was looking at the chart or the lineup, it wasn't what I remembered. Anyway, so then I started finding some of my these were my tapes. And you got Bell Biv DeVoe, Poison. Okay.
Nice.
You never trust a big butt and a smile because these guys told you.
Bell Biv DeVoe.
Yeah, and got Rick James here. Look at him, man. He will definitely do some damage on you. Don't turn your back on Rick. You know what I mean? And then the teenage or the immature kid in me always laughed when I saw this. The Aerosmith pump, because it looks like the trucks are fucking. I just always thought that was so stupid. And then also got Aerosmith, Get a Grip there.
Nice.
That was one of the first CDs I ever bought. Was that one?
You know what? And it's not bad. I was looking at it. I was thinking, man, I remember really liking these. I think
that thing was huge, if I remember.
Yeah.
Grip.
Well, Pump was the one I remember kind of blew up. Well, I mean, in order, because it's got Love in an Elevator and Janie's Got a Gun. So that was like me getting back into Aerosmith. I mean, matter of fact, I think I knew this before I actually knew Dream On, because that was more on the classic rock station. So that was probably my first introduction to them. Well, no, I'd say Walk This Way was with Run DMC.
Yeah,
that was probably my first introduction. But anyway. Get a Grip though; it's got a pretty good lineup as well.
That had all the videos with what's her name?
Daughter? Oh no, that one chick. Yeah.
Lisa Silverstone and what was her name?
Charlie jumped in the chat and said he has Hit Express on vinyl.
Dude, we got to talk, Charlie.
He should jump in here and show that off. I'd love to see that cover huge.
Yeah, exactly, Charlie. Man, you the man. You still got that. And then now we go in more leaning towards, well, I guess the Aerosmith was high school days too, but then you got Molly Crew, Dr. Feelgood. You had to have this one. This was this got the girls wet, at least the white, the white girls who were in the rock anyways, in my area.
Jeez.
And, well, I'm just saying I'm in an ethnic town. The Mexican girls didn't like that. You had to listen to different music. And, Stone Temple Pilots Core. This was not high school though. I'm sure I was an adult at this point. And then Nirvana. This was the one I was stressed, even though I could just buy it again for like $6, but I was bummed out if I didn't find it because I found all my Nirvana. Well, actually, I didn't find In Utero. There you go. Yeah, I didn't find that one, but I found them all, but this one was the last one to find. And I just wonder, like, where's that little kid at with his little baby penis?
I've seen interviews with that guy before.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it's got to be the most famous. Well, maybe not the most famous. I guess there's some of those famous statues that got the little wieners on it, but
it's like a modern day David, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, at least as far as music wise, this got to be the most famous little baby penis. Anyway,
I got a question for you before you get going too far. It's popped in my head. You said you dug all this stuff out. You went and found it, and I've seen plenty of pictures of your walls and all around in that room. Where you have another storage area? Like, why aren't they already on all these shelves behind you?
Well, because because I've been getting a lot of those Napa Valley boxes recently, and at one point when I got them, I sold them, and then the one that I did decide to keep, I used it for Sega Genesis games. So I said, you know what, I'm going to dedicate this one little area over here, this wall over there, and I'm going to put the tapes there. So I can kind of show you. The tapes aren't necessarily curated, but, So I still got a little bit of room to grow. And some of those tapes aren't going to make it.
How was it anchoring that on the wall? Because I wanted to do that myself.
Actually, you'd be surprised. As long as you get one stud, depending on how your walls are set up, they are spaced out enough to get both studs.
Okay.
And I did actually get both. So they're wide enough because they're 16 inches, and it's 16 inches between studs. So and the holes in the box accommodate that.
Just a little bit of that sticky tack, Matt. It should be good enough. Just push it really hard.
And then just a couple CDs real quick. This made me think of you, Kevin, because I heard you talking about how shitty it was, and I was working on my truck yesterday, and I found this in the garage. So,
oh yeah,
that's for you, Kevin.
All right.
In case you need a dub, I can download it and email it to you.
Do it.
Nah, I'm fine.
No, well, just in case you change your mind. Nope. And also, while I was at it, I found my Cinderella.
Now that I like.
Yeah, that's good. It's actually pretty good. It's got a good little track lineup on here.
Those guys are really good. They had that stupid hairband look, but they were not really a hairband.
No, they're good.
They were legit.
They got their power ballads and all that, but there's always a moment for those. You know what I mean?
But they were legit blues rock band, I think.
I don't disagree. I mean, they definitely wormed their way into the hair metal because that's what was hot at the time.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder how their career would have went after that, after the grunge phase, when that all kicked in, had they not committed to the hair band, because that became really like kind of what my co-host Duke was talking about last week, how, it became very passe to have those kind of bands at the time. I mean, I feel like the only band that kind of somewhat survived, even though they weren't really hair band, was like Guns N' Roses seemed to be like,
they weren't
hair band, but they were in that same.
I would say the two bands that survived the hair band that were legit hair bands were Def Leppard and Bon Jovi, and that was really because of the ballads that kept them going, and they had a really strong, touring
I agree with that.
Presence in that.
Well, they use Bon Jovi. They sold off some. I wonder how much more money they made off of that Dead or Alive being on Deadliest Catch. that had to be big money for them.
Oh yeah,
That
that's
was
a
they also
paycheck
used
every time.
they also used that on Young Guns. That's funny. They used that same song for two different properties. That's funny.
Right. But I mean, you'll still hear that if you turn on Discovery Channel. They got the shrunken version of it where it just plays a little bit, but there's still. I wonder if you have to pay less if you shrink the song, because I noticed that I don't watch that show much anymore, but every now and then I'll catch it on, and they don't play the full theme anymore. But and then I found this at a thrift store for $1, and it's a Tool Undertow, so got a little
That's a
Tool
good one.
action here. I did go see these guys in concert, man, and I would tell you, I wasn't that familiar with them leading into the concert. It was my son wanted to go see them, so I was like, okay, let's go. And I knew a couple of their songs, but they put on one of the best concert as far as just like pure music. They started, and from the second the lights went off, they didn't have no opening band. When it started, it was Tool, and they played for 2 straight hours, and that was it. Concert was done. It was just rock. That guy never took a break. They played all Tool songs and some Perfect Circle songs. That's his other band, or I know he's got another one now, I guess, but at then I guess those were the only 2 he had. And I tell you, man, that guy never stopped. I've never seen a concert like that where that was it. It was one song, everything, just right into it. But it was a really good concert. Interesting fact. I had a guy with me. He's a friend. I mean, we ain't talked in a long time now, but he bought some nachos. He didn't like them, man, and he chucked them off of the top balcony. And we were, and I didn't agree with it, and I even told him he was a dick. But as we were watching those nachos kind of like fade off into the mosh pit, and then it was just like, I just thought, oh my God, you just ruined somebody. Why did you do that? You know what I mean? I mean, he had been drinking, and I mean, I don't want to make excuses. He was an asshole. There's no doubt about it. But I'll always think of nachos when I think of Tool because of that. But anyway, there you go.
It went in the mosh pit, so.
Yeah, well, but as much crap that you have to take in the mosh pit, you don't expect to have nachos thrown on you.
You can just see someone in the mosh pit, like, who brings nachos to a mosh pit?
Exactly.
It's catching up with the chat. Charlie saying he cherishes his Dead tapes. Hey, have I shown my Grateful Dead tapes on this program the past year?
It feels like you have.
Yeah, I
Oh, actually,
think
no,
I
you
have,
had. You showed everything by the Grateful Dead
all those
ever had.
So that's a no. Next week, Charlie, we're digging into some Dead tapes. We'll be vinyl adjacent. He's also heard the same story from Tool. I don't know about the nacho part, but he would love to see them as well. So.
Yeah, it's concert. If you can see them, you want to. If you have any interest in Tool at all,
my introduction to Tool was in Guitar Hero because they had some tracks in the World Tour game. Man, those tracks were crazy. It's good
Stink
fun.
Fist.
Oh, right, maybe I can't remember.
I think that's one of them. That's on Guitar Hero.
Yeah, that's off. That's off. Third record.
Yeah.
Yep, Charlie's
You're
into
right,
his.
Kevin.
Bring those Grateful Dead stuff on.
Oh, okay. Well, I was thinking he was asking for the nachos, but I guess we can go with the Grateful Dead tapes if you insist, Bill.
We still got more Grateful Dead vinyl to get through too, if we ever get to it, guys. All right, Kevin.
Well, I'm going to dive right into the vinyl as well because that's
Smart.
all I got. And I think Matt is copying me because I also bought something as well too. And I'm going to open it here and show it off here.
Holy mackerel. Not to jump on the bandwagon, but wait till my turn comes.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Hey-o.
All right. So this is the you know the band Sloan? This is one of the side projects by one of the guys.
Okay, you saw side projects from the Tragically Hip last week.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm all side project up. Oh, no, never mind.
Oh, wrong one.
That's not what this is. This is
he buys so much vinyl, he never knows what he's opening.
Well, I ordered the stuff from the Sloan side project first, and I thought that would be the first thing to show up, but this is something else. These are some Tragically Hip records that I was missing. I had them on CD, but I hadn't had them on vinyl.
Man, you went full on with the Tragically Hip.
So this is their last album, Man Machine Poem. You were talking about babies and their
Baby
wieners.
nips.
They got the nips there. A lot of baby nudity in this one. That's what.
Let's hope you don't get flagged, Bill.
Yeah, hit the like button, I guess.
Not the report button. Don't hit that one.
And this is their second last album, I think. We Are the Same. And this is when they got Bob Rock, Canadian producer Bob Rock.
Is that his real name?
Come on, you know Bob Rock. Come on, Matt Bandy. Music guy like you.
I can't say that.
And, their third last record, World Container, Contents Under Pressure.
Yeah.
And this is, did Bob Rock do this one? Yes, he did. He did this one as well. They were on a Bob Rock kick.
Yeah, I had no idea.
There you go. So I don't think
How many records did that band put out?
Yeah, really?
That's quite a few, eh?
I think 12. I think 12. And then, you got all the side projects and all that, and the live stuff, and then the concert DVDs and CDs or Blu-rays and all that. So, they were around for 25 years, and they were Canada's most popular band. So they're going to have some material. Of course, Bill has zero taste, so Although there's a lot of
Tragically Hip shoved in my face for 25 years, saying this
Bill,
is the greatest
when was the
music.
last time you listened to the radio? You got to be over it by now. I'm with you. I was in the 90s, and I was sick of them too, but that was 20 years ago. You got to be over it by now. Come on, man.
I'm not passing any judgment. I'm just
saying.
And
that there is. I'm reading I read a book on them, and there is a ton of connections with Bob Dylan and the Tragically Hip.
Oh,
lots of stuff going on there. Lots.
Well, maybe
there was a guy. He produced. I can't remember which album it was of Bob's, but he produced some album, and they were able to work with him, so they grabbed him because they were a fan of that Bob Dylan album. I can't remember which one it was.
Is it Langlois?
Yes. Yeah. They couldn't get him though, but they got Langlois' second
brother
in command. They got a second in command. But there was another guy too. Well, yeah, Langlois was one of them. And he toured with them too. Langlois toured with the Tragically Hip. He went on that another roadside attraction. So there's your Bob connection there.
That is big. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and that guy, he's been doing a bunch of interviews lately because he's flogging a new album. So if you look him up, he tells the stories. He's got lots of stories, lots of crazy stories. He produced U2, you know, Bob. He never talked about the hit business, but he's done big guys.
Well, he didn't actually produce
the hit. It was his brother.
It wasn't his brother. It was his second in command. They got in the house too.
Charlie has seen the hit 5 times.
There you go. Wow. Charlie, you're my guy. And he's got a Neil Young avatar too. So that's double good for me.
Yeah, double good.
Yeah, double good.
So what do you think? Is there special wax in those, or is it just...
No, I think they're all just regular black vinyl. Like this was all like this was Music Vaults, that Music Vaults produced. You know that website I talk about all the time? Music
Vault? Right.
Yeah.
Vaults.
They actually, you're talking about how Columbia House would produce their own records. Well, Music Vaults does the same as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I've definitely went there, but I haven't seen the deals yet. But they definitely have a ton of artists.
How do collectors feel about those, Kevin? Are those considered legit, or
I don't give a shit?
No, I just wondered. I know you don't care. I just wondered.
I have no idea. I have no idea. I know that they only had a couple of albums that came out when vinyl was the main format, right? I think their first 3 albums are the only ones that came out, and those are super expensive. like over $1,000 for one of them. And then the rest were just issued on CD only. They never had a vinyl pressing. So if you want them on vinyl, I think this is the only way. Like these are technically first printings on vinyl. There are some of them have there was a European pressing, but like if you go on to Discogs and you look at the first printing, it'll be like 2000.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was referring to. Maybe I should have went with Discog. Like, are those things that get documented? Do they
Oh yeah, if you go on Discogs and you look up a record, they'll show you every single time it was issued and printed, and and it's actually like I have no desire to put my collection on there because I don't want to go through all that effort to find out like which one I have. It's too much.
It can be it can be tough sometimes. Although some if your record has a barcode, it has a feature where you can scan it and it pulls up the one. But sometimes there'll be like
it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's and that barcode, it might not cover all the variants. Like these Columbia House ones.
Well, then the old
same barcode.
And the old records, they didn't have barcodes. I got a lot of records that don't have any. So I'd be sitting there punching them all in. And
do they have the ability to scan the cover, like Amazon, and eBay? If you take a picture of something, its AI can pull it. Sometimes it's not perfect,
so.
But
there's not a lot of variation. The cover's the same essentially.
It's the catalog European number you need.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
Thanks, Kevin. Just looking for you to kill more time, but I guess not.
Oh, I got when we get to me the second time.
He's got another round.
I got plenty here.
He's got the finale coming.
I got everything I bought this weekend.
The other thing that scares me about Discogs is you have to grade your album yourself, and the people on there can be
they're lying.
Crazy.
If you're selling it, you don't have to grade. I mean, if you're doing it for your own personal class, I don't put in condition myself. I just have it. So
no, I mean for selling. Like, and then can they rate you as a seller? Like, could someone say, "Hey, this guy said this is, good plus, but it's definitely only good plus." -1.5.
Yeah.
even on eBay, someone asked me like the condition of a game, and I just ignore them. I'm like, you're going to be a pain in the ass if you want to know like if every corner is pristine or whatever.
Good call.
I'll just wait for the next guy who just doesn't care and is going to buy it.
Typically, when I sell on eBay, I usually just put everything as acceptable, unless I know it's really good and I'm willing to fight on that. I'm just like, fuck it, it's acceptable.
Yeah,
I look at the pictures, bro. I got you 12 pictures.
Yeah, I put up pictures, and I'm like you. Like if I had a GameCube game, Legend is one of the Zelda games on the GameCube, and the disc was scratched, and I put it in my GameCube, and it worked fine. So I put it all in the description and everything, saying, "Hey, like this game is scratched," and I took a cue from you. Because somebody bought it full price, whatever. And before I sent it off, I sent them, hey, just so you know, it's in the description, but sometimes people miss it. This disc is scratched.
You just buy it because based on the price, they don't look at it.
And he sent me back the thing. He's like, yeah, I don't care. I'm like, perfect. And then I kept that, saved that just in case.
Absolutely.
There was no problem. But
that's smart.
I kept it. Well, that was you. That was
I mean, it's still smart that you applied it. That's good. Sometimes you give people advice on things and they don't do it. And then they come to me later, like, I don't want to mention any names, but, they'll come to me later, like
Bill.
Yeah. And they'll be like, hey, all this shit's going wrong. And I'm just like, well, did you do this? Did you do that? Did you do that? He goes, no, I didn't do that. I'm just like, oh, shit. Well, I don't know what to tell you.
That is not me.
Okay.
Sounds right.
I've listened to all of the recorded content that guy over there has made through his entire career, and I followed all the advice he's given.
All right.
How many podcasts in your career? Like 10? I've listened to it all. Different podcasts. So this guy's a monster star. Deeks in the chat joining us, congratulating Kevin on his fantasy.
I guess I did okay.
Hey, what's your fantasy team name?
Well, what is it?
I think
Big balls.
I usually call my team the Dead Parrots, but I went in there and Deke named my team Kev's Legit Team, So I just left it as that because I don't know if I was supposed to change it or not.
It works unless your team turns out not to be legit.
Then it's
online.
Well, then it's an ironic title.
There you go. There you go. Legitly bad.
Right.
All right. So I have mail arrival as well, which I will tease on this show, but you'll get the full video on its own video because this is the latest in the vault from Third Man Records. So we'll take a look, but it's just a tease for. We'll do a deep dive on its own video when the time comes.
That's monthly or bi-monthly?
Quarterly, isn't it?
Quarterly.
Yep.
So that's 4 times a year.
Correct.
Yeah. There you go. And I don't remember really what's on here. You order it. Well, you don't order it. It just automatically happens, right? If you have money in your PayPal. And so it's kind of hard to remember what is coming because it takes so long once they announce what the deal is.
Yeah.
And then it's like 4 months later. So I'm pretty sure this is just Jack White solo stuff, I think. Recent.
There's always multiple releases, right? It's not just one record, you get quite a few.
Well, like it might be one record, but it'll have tons of extras thrown in there.
Are you guaranteed a certain amount of records per year?
4 releases
No.
is what you get.
Yeah, you get 4 of these.
Right.
But one of these could have 4 discs in them, and one might only have 2 discs. But the one that has 2 discs, it might have a flag in it or a magnet. No, it's got better stuff. How do you open this thing?
Oh my goodness. He only gets one of these 4 times a year. So
no, they've changed their packaging. See, look, they used to have this kind of packaging.
Oh yeah,
which opened very easily. And now they went with this, which.
What are you keeping those boxes there for, Bill? Like a memento, or
in case I someday sell
some shit, or in case you send Kevin one of those duplicates you keep rubbing in his face?
Yeah,
Kevin can visit. Christ,
no, we're going gray very soon, man.
There's people traveling to Chicago and stuff and visiting family.
We're going gray very soon.
Oh, this is packing good.
Is that a Canadian color scheme? Or?
That's our dumb Ontario provincial government.
Is it going higher? Your numbers going up?
Gray is the top. That's like the worst. Then red is better somehow.
I think ours is purple. I don't remember though.
I don't even know what's below that because we've only been gray or red. That's it.
Yeah, this is more Jack White live stuff. Tune into the video to see all those colors in their.
You can't peek it out just a little bit, just a tip.
Come on, just give us a tip.
Is there.
That's all I need.
That's all. That's your tip. That's
what about my reaction for the real video? I got to be surprised.
Nobody's gonna watch that.
There's one.
Watch this.
Just be honest.
Come on.
This is your money maker, Bill.
Oh, this is my God. Ooh, look at that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
One of these, I do recall remember Jack White played Saturday Night Live early or late last year? Was it early this year? And he really tore it up. And that appears in this package as well. I remember that. And then Jack White live at the Masonic Temple from 2014.
Has there ever been a release of Saturday Night Live tracks, like live tracks?
There was compilation CDs.
There was the. Do you remember Wayne and Garth's Music a Go Go, the Saturday Night Live special, back when Wayne's World was big? They had them on and they were talking about the videos.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Okay, guys, so stay tuned to start to continue YouTube for the deep dive on this release, and we'll go through it. That'll be fun. Hey, we need content on the channel, guys.
Isn't that what we're doing right now?
Last time I went to open a huge package like this, you guys said, save it for something else. So
It was
Yeah,
probably
that Woodstock.
2 hours.
Yeah, it was
when we were
kind of
done.
lame though, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, the Woodstock one. Yeah, no,
that
one
was
wanted it.
awesome.
Well,
That thing was
shit.
cool. And
Fell
definitely
asleep
had
with that video
boobies in the
twice.
book.
What?
Yeah.
The 50th anniversary of Woodstock. It was the 50th friggin' release of Woodstock.
It was good. All right, let's get back to some Johnny Cash.
Who's that? Is that you?
Someone's
Bill?
fridge went off. It's not me. I'm hearing it. Is it me?
Oh,
No,
it could be
can't be
me.
me.
I have a air conditioner just kicked on. Is that
Oh.
is that really loud? I can turn it down. It's a little
It's
stuffy
good now.
in here.
I don't hear anything now.
Denise is in the chat. Good to see you, Denise. She's finally made it. She did get her Bob Dylan 1970 box set. Came from Nashville via Chicago. Denise checked out my latest Bob Dylan concert audio this week and had some criticism for me in the comments. So check that out too. See if you guys agree. She had some editorial criticism.
I agree. I don't even need to read
About
it.
time somebody holds you to your shit, Bill.
Exactly. No, I appreciate all the support, Denise. Thank you. So we have this is in mono, right? Monaural of Columbia, Johnny Cash, Hymns from the Heart. It's funny, as he moved from Sun Records to Columbia, it seems like they really pushed him into more, hymnal stuff rather than his rock and roll side. It's pretty good there.
Isn't that what all the aging stars did at that time, though? They did like a gospel album,
But he's still young here, though. This is
but this isn't the spring chicken era, is it? I mean,
well, this
I
is,
see a little bit of gray in his hair there.
You're right. How old would he been in 61?
That's what I'm saying. It's the next phase. They did a gospel, like it was a way to get themselves back in the limelight, and they hit another audience. You had Elvis did it, and a lot of guys did that.
There's tracks on there. My God is real. Yes, God is real. No, I'm not mad, Denise. I always welcome any ideas in the comments. She thinks my branding in those concert videos are a little too obnoxious in the frame.
In the thumbnail, or
not in the thumbnail, when the inside artwork, when you play it down, my branding inside the subscribe and the like thumbs up is too big.
right? It's too much.
Too big.
It's too much, and that's not what Bob Dylan is about. He's not about commercial stuff or any kind of money.
Exactly.
Or making money.
Right.
How much money are you making off this YouTube channel?
Loads.
40 cents a month.
There's the Columbia 6i label right there. So it's a legit original pressing. Yeah, she said it's just for the Bob Dylan stuff. I shouldn't have my branding on there.
Everyone else is okay. Bruce Springsteen. Who cares?
It's not about the Bob. I read an interesting story about the Bob where he sold his rights off earlier this year for was it 300 mil or something? And one of his collaborators, the family of one of his co-writers, was trying to get in on some of that cash, who had co-written some songs with him in 75. Jacques Levy, his family. So they're trying to get in on that 300 mil, even though apparently his deal with that family, or the guy he wrote with, and then the family after he's passed away, was he was hired to do the job, he got paid, and that's that, right? But they're saying, well, you see, that is normally it, but Bob gave him this super generous deal that doesn't normally happen, where Bob allowed him 35% royalties in perpetuity for those tracks on top of his for hire deal. So and Bob, as he made this huge deal with Universal, actually made sure that that contract still happens despite the rights changing hands. So even though the rights are changing hands, this artist will still get his 35% for those tracks anytime they're used. So they said because he has that clause of the extended royalties, it's not like a pay for hire deal, and that he should have access to the original copyrights as well. And Bob's like, well, it's just because I was super generous, but it was a hire job. So anyways, that's still going through the courts right now. Dylan and Universal looking for dismissal, and the Jacques Levy family is still looking for a chunk. We'll see where that goes. What do you guys think? Should they be happy that they're still getting 35% royalty?
35% is a lot, but I mean, how much is that crap selling? Like 35% of nothing is nothing. You know what I mean?
It's a big album, but he's been collecting 35% for 25, 35, 45 years.
No, that's fair. That seems like a lot for someone who was hired but I don't know, man, when it comes to similar thing, a little different, but there was an announcer, Jesse the Body Ventura. He was an announcer for the WWF, and he was paid just to be the announcer. That was his job. But years later, he sued for back royalties for all the replays and the VHS tapes and the DVDs and all that. And he won. Even though at the time he had an explicit contract that he was just there to call these matches and that was it.
Yeah.
And he got royalties. So, I mean, this guy's probably going to win. Unless he signed a contract saying 35% was enough, then how are they? I don't know. I don't see how they're violating the contract. I'm not quite sure. I guess that's what lawyers are for, right?
They just think since they had such a great partnership deal, which was just a generosity of Bob, is that they think they deserve ownership of the copyright. So they get a chunk of, so they're asking, they broke it down. They said, you got 300 million for the entire catalog. That breaks it down to 500,000 per song. And Jacques Levy co-wrote about 5 songs. So they broke it. We want 35% of 5 songs, 35% of 500K for that many songs. And that's where it's at. It was interesting. I'm sorry if I didn't just, explain it very good, but it is confusing. But that's happening.
Wow.
Yes, it's from the Desire album, Jacques Levy. Yes. Okay. Sorry. I didn't mean to go off track. Get our Bob talk in there.
Happens on this show, though.
Another early Johnny Cash from Columbia Records, Monaural. Look at the shape of this. It's just perfect. I'm so pleasantly surprised by how good a condition these were, considering I found them in the thrift store after everyone had passed by.
That's because somebody died, Bill. That was an older person's record collection.
I understand that, but I'm saying it was in our thrift store. And if you've seen how records are treated in our thrift stores, they're thrown in a wire basket and they're just bashed around by everyone.
Yeah, I've seen them come out from the back with a big pile of them, and they just take them off the carton,
just throw them in there. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, you guys are animals.
Oh, come on, you can't even just place them nicely, and it's records are heavy,
and then all the hobos go through them
left right away. Yeah,
they tear through them. So that's what I mean. It's so shocking how this is 62, and look at it. It's just great.
When you say you mean homeless people?
I'm saying the patrons of the thrift store.
Okay, I was gonna be like, what are homeless people gonna be doing with the albums?
He's talking about the bums that hang out.
Okay, I got you. My bad.
Like Bill.
Hey, yeah. I like how this got one of my favorite Johnny Cash songs, Delia's Gone, on there, which would appear in his American recordings way later in his career. So it's got some hardcore stuff here.
In the jailhouse now, is that the...
Yeah. And them cotton fields back home.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah, Delia's Gone is about shooting that lady down. Again, no sleeve in here, but it's still It's just a little dusty.
Yeah. You need to use
Perfect
a dishwasher on that.
6i, original pressing. Let me grab a thing here. Get these sorted out right away, live on camera. Denise says, why am I late? I had to make a post to every Facebook group about these guys posting for this channel that monetizes Bob Dylan with these put together great. Uh-oh. She's blocking people who make money off the Bob. Uh-oh.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Bill doesn't make anything.
I go to the no, that's for sure.
He doesn't.
I think Bill still owes Bob some money.
Right.
Okay. Look at this. Sexy Johnny Cash.
Oh, wow.
He's working.
Whoa.
Working,
Nice pick.
man.
There you go.
It's got a lantern and everything. Look at that.
No
It's ready for
bulge.
action. He's a grower, not a shower.
You wouldn't have a bulge too if you've been swinging an axe all day.
Right. He's up inside you, man.
Come on.
That's got John Henry on there. That's a great tune. Swinging his hammer. And we lose the 6i and get the regular Columbia 2i label. See?
360 sound.
Do you notice the 2 eyes right there?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Does this album predate the group Blood, Sweat, and Tears?
What?
Well, the name of that album is Blood, Sweat, and Tears, right?
Oh, yeah. I would totally predate that.
I wonder if they ripped him off.
Well, this is, again, 62.
Yeah, well, I don't know what year Blood, Sweat, and Tears was formed.
Well, that was a
70s,
saying,
right?
Well, that was a
Yeah.
saying though. Blood, sweat, and tears.
Well, all right, that's true. Okay, yeah, you're right. Just saying, they could have still ripped him off.
It's got
The
John
Carter
Henry.
family.
It's got Casey
Busted is a great
Jones.
song.
Busted, yeah.
Busted's
9-Pound
great,
Hammer.
Yeah.
This is Waiting for a Train. Yeah, this is going to be a great album to listen to. That's a good.
You're
one.
not going to listen to it though.
That Busted is one of my favorite Johnny Cash songs. I love that song.
I am going to listen to it. This one's in stereo. No, I don't know. Well, I got to check the label again because we got on here. We got monaural here, but it also says stereo up here. Which one do I remember? Which one is it? Now, this is non-breakable. That's important. No, it's stereo. 360 sound. Kevin noted that before. All right. Okay, I'll take a break from my Johnny Cash vinyl for now and pass it on over to Chris Roberts to take over. I know he's got some vinyl.
I do. I just want to show a couple of quick things, and it'll be quick before I show some vinyl. That place where I get all my music from, it's really dried up, man. It's sad to see a good thrift store die. But I did find these books, which are kind of adjacent, right?
Ooh.
Didn't you say they did Metallica, Matt? Didn't you say the artist
no.
was the same?
Frazetta did. But there were some. I saw you that had some Frank Frazetta covers. A lot of metal bands used, or rock and roll bands too, used some of his artwork. Hackett most famously for some of their albums used Frazetta.
Well, anyways, I don't know, man. These just look cool. And I mean, there's definitely value. Each of these books usually resell for about $20, but I just thought these look really cool. So I got that one. They're all hardback. This one right here, I think there's might have some boobage coming up. Oh, there's a butt on the back. You got a little.
That's a
Whoa.
Frazetta cover right there.
Yeah, a little chick butt back there.
Well, welcome, Stephen. You get some chick butt.
Yeah,
Welcome to the show.
and then you think you're seeing boobs, but she actually has a top on, but close enough.
Some pasties.
You know. Yeah.
What is on his chest?
Batman. It looks like they ripped off the Batman symbol. I don't
What the
know.
hell's going on?
I have no idea, but it's funny because I didn't notice that the first time through. And I got a double of this one, so one of these are going Matthew's way.
Yeah, it's another Frazetta cover. That's awesome.
Yeah, these are pretty badass.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to show those real quick. I actually got a couple other, but they didn't have covers. I picked this up earlier, and or actually yesterday, and I didn't realize it was a live album, but I think it's still cool nonetheless. Little Blue Oyster Cult. Well, I just really dig the cover. Yeah, I didn't realize it was a live album. I guess, I mean, I probably should have known because of that. And then if I would have actually read the back, it does talk about how they tell you where each performance are, because it's not they're live recordings, but it's not a true live album, I guess. I mean, they're live, but they're from different venues. Some of them are from the same venue, some of them from different venues, but I don't know. It still sounded pretty good. I was listening to it before we started the show. I was also cleaning it. And interesting thing, that disc cleaner I got, I hadn't been using the fluid on it. I just been kind of rubbing it off, and I don't know why. But the other day I said, you know what, I'm actually supposed to be using this cleaner. Man, it's so much better. They're like brand new. Imagine that, right? And I heard you talking about Mr. Petty last week.
Yeah.
Kevin, and I picked this up at the swap meet for
nice
a $5 bill, and I'm happy with this. It's a good little price. The guy would not budge. He had a lot of good records, but I had to just kind of hone it down to what I wanted. Yeah, go ahead. Well, let's not get people worked up, Bill.
I want to get people worked up because I'm still worked up.
Okay, look. I sent Bill all these pictures of Bob Dylan albums. I mean, the guy had about a dozen of them. I'm like, well, Bill, is there anything in here that is worth anything? Should I get? I didn't even say worth. I said, is any of these worth getting? And your reply was, no. I got the chat. We could go back through it. And your reply was, you're not going to get rich off any of that. And I was like, well, I mean, so what are they worth? Shit. I didn't have time to go back and forth. I was going to your expertise. And you basically like, I wouldn't get them for $5 a piece. So I didn't. Then I didn't get them. And he's like, well, why didn't you get them? And like, well, you told me they were only worth like $2 a piece. Why am I going to overpay?
You were asking me as a reseller. So I was telling you weren't going to get rich off them. But as a collector, that would be an amazing collection.
I wasn't even necessarily. If you would have said, hey, that's like a $30, $35 album, then I'd have been like, oh, okay, I'll invest in this one. But if you're telling me it's a $2 album, I'm not going to overpay, Bill.
No.
Yes.
Chris Roberts, he needs to make $200 per unit. So
that's not true. I was going to probably keep a couple of them. I mean, I didn't. And if you needed any, I was going to buy it for you. But I guess you had them all, right?
I had all those. But yeah, it was all of the early Bob stuff.
Well, I'm sure that stuff's still there, dude. I mean, it's the cherry auction. I don't see a lot of Bob Dylan fans. It was interesting enough, though. There was another guy looking through the same stack. I've gotten stuff from him before, and the last time I was there, all his records were like wet and warped, and I picked out a couple that weren't. And I don't know where this guy's getting all his stuff, but I mean, these were like, it was like the Twin Towers. So I'm going through them, and while I'm going through my stack, I see another guy going through the stack. He was there first, so I'm just watching his stack. I'm not even looking through mine because I figure I'll let him do all the work on the other stack, and then I'll do my stack. And whatever he wasn't taking that I wanted, I was like, hey, let me see that. And he's like, okay. He was very cordial about it. And he did all the work for me. I only had to go through one stack. But I did get this out of the stack. I'm pretty happy with this one. Got the Leonard Skinner in very good condition. It's got a little cigarette pack on the back. Little gatefold action here. Opens up. No easy access like Bill's stuff. It's got the MCA sleeve, and it's like, I mean, this thing was in really good condition, but it's just regular black, nothing's fancy, but it sounds really good. I was a little hesitant considering the last time I got stuff there, so I was really pleased with the stuff that I got, at least the condition wise. I got a little Elton John here, got the Yellow Brick Road, nice. Double album here. Opens up all over the place here, so you get all kinds. No, it's not like your stuff, Bill. It's not ripped up. It actually, that's the way it was meant to be. But I got a little bonus thrown here. Don't want to call it ephemera because it really doesn't belong to this album, but little John Lennon.
Beautiful.
Should have went to the John Lennon's album. So if I ever do get the album, now I got the insert. So it's kind of cool. Little. I guess it's probably all the the lyrics and everything for each song.
I better check my copy, see if it's got an insert.
I don't know. Might be able to do it. And then, all right, so after Bill shot me down, didn't want anything, I did, and I actually messaged Matt too, and I didn't really see much stuff that Matt wanted, to be honest, Matt. I knew it wasn't your vibe. But I sent this to Curtiss, and I was like, is this one you need, Curtiss? And he's like, yeah. I was like, okay, well, they want it for $5. He goes, yeah, I'll do it. And, at first it's funny because he's like, well, it's not, I'm like, dude, you're going to buy them all, right? And in LA, he's paying like $20 an album. So I'm like, dude, this is well worth it. I'm just going to give it to him now because I didn't realize it was a double album and it only had one of the discs. So. Yeah, that was my bad. I was like, well, I'll just let you have it. And if you ever come across another one and this is an upgrade, at least you'll have it. And you can listen to the one album. It actually sounds really good too, but man, look at that, boy. He was confident to put out pictures like that. I mean, he just did not care.
What's going on below that photo now?
I don't know, but I can imagine what's going on. He probably didn't have any pants on. But it's a good looking album. So that was the vinyl I got. Since I got a couple more minutes here, I also picked up a little. Oops, hold on, my screen went away there. Don't you hate it when Adobe just keeps trying to force shit on you? Like, no, I don't want to upgrade my software, Adobe. So I got a little Texas Chainsaw Massacre here on Blu-ray, even though I got it probably in every format. I might as well get that if it was $1. Got the Mel Gibson trilogy. It's got all three of the original three.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good little set. And what I like about it,
Beyond Thunderdome. I've never seen
You're not missing anything.
That's what I've heard.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I'll take Beyond Thunderdome over the original one.
No.
Yeah.
Crazy talk.
No, I mean, I like the original one, but I think, just in fairness, I feel like Beyond Thunderdome's more nostalgic for me because I did see it in the theaters as a kid. And I also saw Road Warriors in the drive-in. This was the first movie I ever saw at a drive-in was Road Warriors.
That's cool.
A Road Warrior. And
I prefer the Load Warrior.
I bet you do. And just a little. Now you had your Gremlins, you had your Ghoulies. Everybody was trying to rip off Gremlins. And you tell me if that. Well, it's not Critters.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the Munchies.
Munchies.
Tell me he's not trying to rip off the Gremlins there. Look at that. But it's about a $15 to $20 DVD.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, it's it's trash, but it's my kind of trash. And to finish up here, I got the Challenge of the Super Friends, the first season. I couldn't pass that up for $2. I love that stuff. That's some nostalgia right there. And I also got season 2 or volume 2. And I don't know if these are in order because this one says Challenge Volume 1 and then this says Super Friends Volume 2, but I'm pretty sure they go in order. But
that's the 80s one?
Yes, this has been the ones that we would have saw as kids, Bill. Look at
I was
Bill
too
was an
little.
adult.
I was too little.
Bill was in high school when that was on.
Well, anyway, yeah, this was the challenge when they went head to head with all the Legion of Doom there, and then this is the next generation of them there. This has got the Wonder Twins and whatever. Anyway, that's what I got.
Cool.
So,
and I look back through that chat transcript between you and me. Feel free to post that if you want, because you're telling the wrong story.
No, I would never do that.
You were Johnny Reseller on that chat, and I was just telling you the hard truth about numbers on that. That's all.
I think you were saying something like,
and then I begged you to pick it up as the
albums are
collector.
crap. Only get them if they're not worth buying. I'm pretty sure you said that. I didn't want to out you to all these Bob fans that you're a big poser.
But man, yeah, if you could have got them all for $2 each, that would have been.
Oh, I would have. I wouldn't even have messaged you. I would have just got them for the show, if nothing else. But at $5 a piece, man. I mean, I was looking at like $80 in Bob Dylan albums that it's not my thing, buddy.
Oh,
I mean,
man,
I realize there's a value for a collector of Bob Dylan, but I didn't want to do that.
But if you do find it, you will enjoy them because I know you like the bootleg
No,
series. You like
I
the
do.
stuff from there. I know you. If you got into it, you would. Appreciate it.
I know, but I guess my perspective is, Bill, I could listen to it on Spotify or YouTube Music, and
I know you too, and I know you will come across them for 50 cents one day.
Exactly. So. I'm a patient man when it comes to. I just didn't want to leave behind a $500 album or something.
That's why I was saying.
I know. Listen, I was trying to make you look bad, Bill. Okay. Come on, can you not push back here? I'm just trying to make you look bad. Everybody's got a role to play on this podcast, Bill.
Right.
This really should have been covered in the first half hour.
It really should. Okay. Well, Bandy, you're up.
Okay. So we'll get back into my 7 inches here. Hopefully I can get through the C's on this go around. Maybe. So does anybody remember where we left off last time? What band?
Well, Steven in the chat is saying he's just gotten back into records and bought a bunch of country and bluegrass. So I don't know if you got that first record you showed to show him that you kicked it off with some bluegrass.
Yeah, I did.
In case you missed it, check that out.
So last time I was showing my 7 inches, we finished with Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah, I knew that.
So
I was going to say Concrete Blonde, but
now we're on to Cold Stare.
Oh,
this one's actually kind of not too many 7 inches have the sealed on it. But this was a California hardcore punk band with a lot of more some oi and like more British punk rock influences on it. It's kind of rough. It's good stuff though. This got the lyric sheet. It's there. And so Life's a Rape is the name of this record.
Oh,
wow. Getting right to the point.
Yeah. What year's that from?
This was, I'm going to say something maybe early 2010s, maybe.
Oh. Was that a raven or an eagle on there?
That's an eagle. Yeah, it doesn't have a date on this, but I got it when it came out, and I'm guessing it was around the 2010 era. The next one we got is Common Cause. This is a hardcore band from Norway, released on React Records. This was their, I think, this was a 7-inch in between their full lengths. And with React, you always have the super clean layouts. We got a trifold here. Shots of the band. Got to see these guys play live once at, actually, it was this show right here. I was at the show. Because I can tell.
Do you ever find yourself in any of these crowd picks, Matt?
Yeah, I thought he was going to point to himself there.
Yeah,
have you ever?
I have before in a few records and stuff, but nothing.
Well, we need to get a highlight of that.
Yeah, I'll see if I can
see you in action.
Yeah, come across that. I can show you some videos. But yeah, as you can tell, this up here, this sign that says no stage diving. If you ever see that, that is taken at Gilman Street in San Francisco.
Now, does anybody ever stage dive?
All the time. But so this is on clear red.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
So Gilman Street is where bands like Rancid and Green Day, they all got their start there. It's one of, I think it's maybe the longest running independent music venue in America. Then you got your poster that comes with, and then a little essay written on accountability.
The poster, it's a sheet paper.
Yeah. Yeah. So every React release came with one of those.
God, do you think they're making any money on those? It seems to be a lot in that release. How much do they charge for that thing?
Usually probably like standard prices for 7. It used to be like if you're at a show, it was $10 for an LP, $5 for a 7-inch. That's gone up since the early 2000s and when I was first started going to shows.
That doesn't seem like enough margin to make money off those.
Yeah, these indie record labels, they're not making money on that. They're doing that because they want to put out records and they like it. They're not making money off of that at all.
They're making their money off the tour, right? Making a few bucks, selling some
enough
T-shirts,
enough to keep their label going, and enough to get the bands to the next show, that sort of thing. Next one,
they're doing it for the love, Bill.
Yeah, exactly. Coptic Times, which is another hardcore band. This was put out on Youngblood Records, which is another great label out of Philadelphia. I don't remember much about this release. I was pretty much anything at this time. This was from 2008, this release. Anything that Youngblood Records would put out, I would pick it up without even hearing it, just because I was a fan of their releases. Just got the liner notes, lyrics, and pretty sure this was just on black vinyl. Back. Nice. Where to see them at, Steven? Oh, okay.
Oh,
that's another Dead Kennedys song right there. We'll see if anyone can recognize. So this is a band by Cross Examination. I've shown one of the records on here before, but this is their 7-inch. This is a spoof of. Anyone tell me what this is a spoof of?
Black Sabbath? Paranoid?
Is that the Ramones or what? Get
Yeah,
the seal
it's a Slayer.
Slayer.
This is
Okay.
Slayer from Show No Mercy. So this was the. That's all right. This is the.
Should have known.
This is the actual cover here. Cross Examination is a thrash band, like a retro thrash. So they were playing.
And do you think someone in that band drew that, or do they commission someone for that?
I don't know. I'm sure now. And you got the back here.
That's cool, man. That's like almost like
the hung jury, they're hung themselves.
It's like Adult Swim art.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever watch like Metalopolis?
Metalopolis, that was a good show. Yeah,
I love that show. But that kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah. So this was their first 7-inch, or the first release. I got this. This was a special cover or slip that was for this edition.
That's really cool.
Mine's number 24 out of
24.
75.
Wow.
So this was for their tour press. So I got this at a festival that was in Chicago that I went to, and that's where I picked up this record.
They're metal when they got the upside down cross.
I like to know what Bandy's up to at these shows to get these super limited releases.
It's on gray vinyl.
If you ever stood next to Bandy, you'd give him whatever you wanted. Big band. You're at the concert and he says, "Give me that record." You're gonna do it.
I'm very polite. Or maybe just not a lot of people are clamoring for the record.
Wow, maybe that's that too.
Then we got, I showed my one record that I showed last week was by this band here, Cruel Hand. This is their demo that was originally, I don't know if it was a press on cassette, but this got a vinyl release.
Question for you, Bandy. Are they sold only at the show?
Usually the tour pressings are. If it's a tour pressing, it's only at the show. Sometimes if there's some left over, the band will sell it like on either through the record label. Yeah. And this was on clear purple.
That's cool.
Yeah. Guys, again, we're from Portland, Maine. And so the last two I'm going to show are by the same band here, Cutting Through. This is one of the last modern hardcore bands that really kind of resonated with me. The older I get, for hardcore punk, I'm not actively looking as many bands, or it's just not hardcore, and punk rock has always been kind of about the youth for me, about that time period in your life. But this band, I've seen and listened to a lot of these guys, other bands that they played in, and these guys are from Washington, the Seattle area. Some members are also from Vancouver. But this, I just thought was a great release. This was their demo, which was originally a cassette, really got pressed on vinyl as well. And then it's just on black. And you got your lyric sheet there. I think that's all that's in there. And this one here was their EP that they released after their demo. And this I got up and when I saw them play in Oakland, California. This is their EP.
What's it usually cost to get into one of those concerts?
Yeah,
or at least back then.
Anywhere from $3 to $5. Depends on the show.
Jeez, no reason not to go then.
They're not making any money off alcohol, right?
No, usually they're usually these aren't at a bar. I mean,
yeah,
this is a straight edge band, but usually shows aren't at a bar. They're usually at some sort of just music venue or places as sort of. Actually, I saw this band play. This was at a like a bicycle store.
Yeah. There was a punk scene downtown in Fresno that used to play it at a boys and girls club, or used to be a boys and girls club.
Yeah,
that Mike Migan. You know him through Instagram. He used to post a lot of his punk pics. He was in a band as well.
So there you go. That's the rest of my C's.
Wow. C's are gone to bed. D's coming up next.
D's
get
coming
through all
up
that
next.
Dylan, all that 7-inch Dylan stuff.
7-inch
right.
D's.
7-inch D's. That's about right.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin, it's finally time. How many weeks have you waited to have a whole vinyl segment to yourself? Show actual full-on vinyl.
I'm ready to go to bed.
Oh man!
I wanted to mention a movie though that I saw because Matt Bandy was talking about going to these shows, these small venue shows, and as you know, the Oscars are coming up, and they've nominated. You've got all the nominated movies out there, and one of the movies that is nominated for Best Documentary, it's a movie called Collective, but it's missing the E. It came out in hello Denise. It's a Romanian movie, so there's subtitles. But in this bar or place where they were having this concert, the place was called The Collective, missing the E, and it was the exact same scenario as that White Lion incident. I don't know, like 15 years ago. Remember where they had the pyrotechnics in the bar? And then the whole place went up. The exact same scenario. There wasn't enough exits in the building, and on that night, 60 people died.
Oh my god!
Then, as the weeks went on, the number just kept going up, and it went all the way up to 125 people had died. And the reason why the number doubled was because the people who were burnt, they were burn victims, were sent to the hospitals, and the hospitals were all buying their disinfectant from one source. And this one source was run by the Romanian mafia, which was all tied with the government. And what the mafia was doing was they were buying this disinfectant from outside of the country, and then they'd bring it into their building, and they would dilute the disinfectant 8 times over. So they were supposed to be getting, it was supposed to be like 15%, 12% disinfectant, and what the hospitals were actually getting was 1 or 2%. So all these burn victims, they were in, ICU, but they were dying from infections. They all got infections. So there was like people who were really scarred, really burnt, and they survived because they went to a hospital that was actually using that, that they just didn't get any infection. And there were people that had hardly any burns, but they got an infection. And as soon as you get this infection, like there's nothing they can do for you. You are gone. So it was really good that the access that they got, that the film crew got, like they were like right in there with the new minister who went in. Like they basically got rid of the government, and this one government was in for like 1 year, and their job was just to specifically take care of this problem because everyone was too afraid to go to the hospital. They were sending everyone, like if you had a serious injury, they'd send you to Germany or something like that. You can go to a hospital there's people waiting for lung transplants and that. And they can't
year was this from?
It had to be 2019 because nobody was wearing masks or anything like that.
When was the incident?
The incident was like 2015. And so that part of the movie was had to be from 2016. I guess it was 2016, but the movie came out in 2019 anyways. It was up for best documentary this year. So it's music related. So check it out.
What's the world coming to when you can't rely on the Romanian mob for quality disinfectant? I mean, seriously, man.
It is insane, and I won't tell you anymore. You'll watch it yourself.
Now what did you watch it on?
Oh, it was on Netflix in Canada, so I don't know if it's on Netflix in the States, but
take a look for it though. That sounds interesting.
What was it called again? Collective
with no E.
Without an E.
Where can they find your review on that?
On Letterboxd as soon as I get it up there, which will be soon enough.
Check the details of this video. You'll find
when you were talking about nominated. I thought you were going to talk about the Sound of the Sound of Metal.
Sound of Metal. That's a great movie as well. That's up for
that's on my queue. I've been looking to watch. I've been having geared up to watch. It looks pretty good.
Especially if you have any sort of hearing problems in that, there's a lot that you can relate to. And I swear, when that movie started, I didn't know what it was. I thought it might have been a mockumentary at the start. That's how like natural the start of that movie is. It's really well done. Okay, vinyl. How about we get to it? So I actually went out vinyl record shopping this weekend for the first time since August. I went to a vinyl record store. It was so nice. And I think in August, the last time we went out, we went from red zone to gray zone, and it looks like it's going to happen again. So it looks like I can get like one every 6 months. I can get into a record store.
They just sent a note to parents tonight to send an extra bag with your child tomorrow to school in case they aren't coming back.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And all our schools are starting to open up where we're at, or at least in my area. Restaurants are open now. Everything's opening back up.
Wow,
it's so weird.
It seems like every time they do that, every time they open things up, they got to close it back up again. It just going back and forth, and it's like, why don't we prioritize the things that really need to open up and keep the other things closed? But anyways, vinyl records. So
yes.
Sarah and I were we went all out. We got some stuff. So I got.
Was this a road trip too?
We were talking. Yeah, we went to Cops. We went to Cops in Oshawa. So we brought up Molly Hatchet earlier. There you go. There's the Molly Hatchet cover. This is a great album.
That horse would kick your ass.
I think this album is just called Molly Hatchet. I don't know if it actually has a name. It's just Molly Hatchet. But anyways, these guys are like a mix of one part Allman Brothers, one part Leonard Skinner, a little bit of ZZ Top in there. Sarah makes fun of them. She says the lead singer sounds like like Kermit the Frog, but I think she's wrong. And out of all the group members in here, they all look like they're roadies for the Allman Brothers, except for this guy. This guy looks like he means business, that guy. I don't want to mess with that guy. He looks like he's like a security guard for the Allman Brothers.
Yeah,
he looks like a big dude. Tough dude. Anyways, this comes with the lyrics. There's lyrics on there.
So you're definitely saying it sounds like Southern rock.
Absolutely, yeah. They're a Southern rock band. One of Sarah and I's favorite bands is Crumbin, or Crumbum, as I like to call them. And so these were all new. And, you know, their pressings are so limited in that they just come out and then it's gone. So you got to grab it while you can. So we paid a little more for this one. It was $34. But this was it's like old standards that they did and kind of like remixed them in that. It sounds really cool. It is a double. It's a double album. So that kind of took some of the sting off of the price. And comes in these nice black sleeves. Look at that. Ooh, we got the orange vinyl, and it doesn't really show up on the camera, but it's got like some marble action in there too.
Oh, how do you spell that name? KHR.
KHRUANGBIN. Crumbin.
Okay.
Crumbin. I think that's how you say it.
I missed checking them out the last time you brought them up.
Well, I mean, you just go on YouTube like Duke did, man, and they got a ton of really great videos. They got some good videos that just show them how they do their whole shtick.
Yeah, but I'll never find them if I put in Crumbum.
No, you can't put in Crumbum. Hold on here. This is all out of order. What the heck's the rest? Oh, there it is. So yeah, we got haven't listened to these other two yet. This is another double album, but I just love that artwork. Groovy.
That's really cool.
Oh, maybe this isn't a double. Maybe it's just a gatefold. No, it's not open yet, so I'm not going to open it. And then this one was only $16. Another cool cover on there.
That has a Activision vibe to it.
Yeah. Total Atari Activision. But it's only got, I think, 4 songs on it, so that's why it's...
Are they long, or is it just a short album?
I don't know. I haven't listened to these ones at all.
Fair enough.
So when you found that for $16, you were like, I'm getting that no matter what.
Well, yeah. But, I mean, it's a shorter album, so... These were much cheaper. Except for this one. This one was $20. So this is my new favorite band, FM. I talked about them earlier. But they're kind of like I don't know, they're just awesome. So this one was $20. They're like prog rock, kind of like early like Genesis with Phil Collins, but also a little Rush in there too. They got like an electric flute player in there. It's all good stuff. It's great. Curtis listened to it and he gave it his thumbs up. So, but this is a limited releasing. See, it's the limited rock recording. So that's why this one was a little more expensive. And inside you got a big write up from Larry Wilson of Chum FM. That big.
That's a hell of an endorsement.
Big write up, man.
Yeah.
From Chum FM.
You betcha.
That means something,
So,
man.
yeah, like they're a Toronto band, so of course they got like all the Canadian connection there. And then these were much cheaper. These were like $2.99 each. So I got FM's second. No, that's their second. This is their third. FM Surveillance. And it's all just black vinyl. There's nothing crazy in them. And then I got Fear of the City. This was their next album.
That was the band you said that opened for Rush? or supported?
I don't know if they. No, that you're thinking of Max Webster.
Okay.
I don't know if these guys open for us. They might have. They're definitely would be in that wheelhouse. But I think they're fantastic. There's some. I think that's old Scarborough there. Scarborough. But
they're good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Hey, give them a listen, man. Go on Spotify and give
Got a
them
lot of
spin
notes here.
I mean, I think they're fantastic. Like I was waiting for the, okay, this is like they're just off the rails now, and this is why they never became famous or anything. It's, yeah, games are passe. Creepy Josh. This is another Kansas album. Sarah found this one. I think this one was $5.
That's a cool cover. I've never seen that record before. That's awesome.
This is the one that has Dust in the Wind on it. So I haven't listened to this one yet. Like I said, I just got it on the weekend. So Sarah picked up this one too, the Doobie Brothers Minute by Minute. This is the one with what's his face there? Michael McDonald.
McDonald.
This is when the McDonald took over. But it's got a lot of hits on here. Minute by Minute, of course. What a Fool Believes. I don't know. I have a Doobie Brothers Greatest Hits album, but it's all scratchy. It's definitely in build condition. So I'm gonna upgrade that. You should know. I'm a fan of Fats Domino. So for $5,
there you go.
I love my Fats Domino, but this doesn't have. It's missing one song on it.
My Girl
Just which one? Nope, that's on here.
$5.
Yeah, and I thought this was kind of cool. Like this is the front cover with all the songs and the big Fats Domino, and then that's the back cover. It seems a little backwards to me.
Yeah,
it's a little, but yeah, there was one song that it's missing on here, so I'm gonna have to get a better greatest hits. But for $5, this was another.
Oh, there you go.
Was $7.99
before
Montrose.
Yeah.
So this is like the only Sammy Hagar album I would really ever care to get. That's not Van Halen.
Boobies.
Boobies. Oh, yeah. There you go, Bill. Enjoy. It's not in the best condition. Like the cover is, I don't know, it kind of looks. It's probably not showing up on the camera, but it looks a little like faded. I don't know if that's how it looked originally.
I think that's what, because that's what. Oh,
nice. Oh my
I
goodness!
knew you were gonna do that. Listen, I had to adjust my pants. Asshole.
I thought we were gonna get more boobies
earlier.
Well, someone still fixed the easy access here. They put some tape on there, so. But the vinyl itself was in great shape, and yeah, this is the one with Rock Candy on it. Oh, and Cops Records is doing this now on their sleeves. They put that logo on there, which
is that a pig?
No, I don't know. I guess it's a cop, so kind of.
That's not the Cops record downtown, right? Where is this one?
No, this is in Oshawa, in the Schwab.
Oshawa.
Right.
Where in Oshawa?
Right on the main drag there.
Okay.
Simcoe Street. You get off Simcoe Street, and it's like how it goes from two-way street to a one-way street. Once it goes to a one-way street, you're almost there. This one was for Chris Roberts. Get the Knack.
Yeah,
I know if Chris Roberts was up there, he would get this. I
think I have it, to be honest.
It's actually really good. It's a really good rock record. I was expecting like more of that 80s sound, but this is like legit rock. And there's nothing crazy in there. But yeah, we listened to that. That was good times. Okay, just got two more. I'll show this one. This was
Kevin,
another cheap.
You got to plug your website for Denise to go check out everything you've written up about Tragically Hip.
Yeah, well, go to buriedonmars.com and check it out. Where both my wife and I have been reviewing all of their albums, and we're up to the last one we did was Trouble at the Hen House, and we got the live album coming up on Sunday. So go check that out. This was a $5 pickup. This is Mahogany Rush. I've shown one of their albums before.
That's cool.
And this has Frank. It's Frank Marin. Is that his name? Frank Marino. Really great Canadian band. Another band with the word Rush in it. But yeah, I just like the cover of this one. I just thought it was so.
You had
cheesy.
that car in the 80s, man.
I wish I did.
Oh,
I wish I
dude.
had it right now. Forget the
Well,
80s.
yeah, it came back. Right, yeah.
I would definitely drive it. Look at that. That's a back cover.
That's good.
Wow. They're having fun.
Comparing wrench sizes.
But I did stream a bunch of Mahogany Rush after I got that other album, and this was this was a good one. I saw it there for $5, and what the heck? It was in great condition.
Oh, is $5 kind of like a magic number? Is like that? You guys consider that cheap?
I would, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not bill crazy, right? Like when you go in there, for instance, I'll give you an example. When you go in there, they got like their cheap bins up front, and I know like everything in there is just going to be. There's going to be something wrong with it. That's why it's there.
Damage.
You know, like there's some sort of damage. I'm not even going to waste my time with that. I would rather spend a few extra dollars.
You're right. Yeah, you're a true collector. Right.
I want to listen to it. I don't want to like just go on.
You're
YouTube
a guy who wants quality stuff in his collection.
Yes,
Yeah.
right. Like a little bit,
Nothing
like
wrong with
it's,
that.
but not crazy. Like I really like FM, so I don't mind.
You're not going to
extra
spend
money.
$500 on a Woodstock box set, for instance.
Like there's one album, there's one Judas Priest album I really need right in my collection, and they had it there, but it was $45.
No, that's ridiculous.
That's that's a little too much for me. I'll wait for the reissue for $20 or something.
Which one was it?
So it's their second album, Sad Wings of Destiny, which only came out on this limited label. So it didn't get printed very much. So that's why it's tough to get.
But if it was in the cheap bin for $2.50 because it had ringwear on the cover, you'd certainly get it.
Yeah,
but it wouldn't be in there for just ringwear.
Yeah, it wouldn't be up in the front.
It would be scratched and shit. Come on,
right?
Maybe not. Maybe not.
No. The one that was $45 had ringwear on it. It wasn't just a minor problem. Like the stuff up front, like you want to spend your time and go through all that stuff and find like I found Alice Cooper, School's Out. It was like the desk falling out. I'm like, oh, this is great. I pull it out and the record looks like somebody wiped their ass with it.
Yeah, but that could be one of those instances where, let's say you had a record with a crappy.
Sure,
that could have been an upgrade for you. But...
Sure, if I was looking for that, sure.
Right.
But like I just,
but your time is money, right? I mean, you ain't got time to waste your. Yeah, you got big things to do.
I
listen. Sometimes the cheap bin is not all just because of defects. It's also their overstock. They're not like game stores where they hoard the good stuff in the back of the warehouse until they sell one and then put out another one. They put their overstock in the cheap bins too. They don't got time to keep all this stuff floating around. So if they got 20 copies of the same record, it's going in the cheap bin. And it's like Kevin, our old store in Barrie that had the basement, the magical basement. There was piles of crap in there, but you could also find gold.
Yeah, but the stuff because he would admit that he would just throw stuff in there and not check it. This store checks everything. Like everything's got a price on it. There's no you're not going to find a diamond.
There's no
in the
mistakes, right?
Yeah, I mean, and they had in the back of the store, it was just tons and tons of overstock. That was you can go through that stuff, but
once you bring it up, they're gonna
price it for you.
Right.
I saw
you're gonna do the work and they're gonna price it. Hold on,
I saw Lou Reed's Machine. I think it's Machine Man or something like that. I'm like, oh, okay, that's you don't see that one often enough, and it had no price on it. When you brought it up, it was going to be $55 or something ridiculous. Anyways, final one, Talking Heads. This is one that really Sarah bought. She always wanted this one, so she paid $17.99 for it. But we listened to this one too. It was pretty good. Not really my thing that much, but whatever.
So now, what do you do when you're listening to a Talking Head album? What else are you doing? You just sitting there?
No, I was. What the heck were we doing? I don't remember. We had a bunch of stuff to do.
Yeah.
We were doing it. I can't remember. Like cleaning up and I remember. Okay, so here's the other. Here you go. Here's the thing. So the so IKEA builds like these CD tower things, right? So you can put all your CDs in there and all that. And they just I just found out this past weekend that they discontinued them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they were like the last, like, company that was still putting out something for CDs that was like nice like that and not too expensive. Like anything else is like, they don't make them anymore because people don't buy CDs, right?
Right.
So what I was doing was reorganizing my CD shelves and that, because once I found that out, I'm like, okay, I can't just buy more shelves.
Oh, okay.
I have to find because I had like stacks of CDs that needed to be put away. So that's what I was doing when I was listening to the Talking Heads.
It's a good thing to do. Organize.
Yeah.
I've been trying to create another shelf for more vinyl. And so I'm having to condense the shelf of Nintendo DS, 3DS stuff with PSP, Vita, and Dreamcast stuff.
Do you play any of those handheld games?
It's not working out. I plan to.
You plan to? You'll never have.
That's why I'm getting rid of it, because I just know that there's a lot.
I can see some 3DS maybe, but I bet you won't get to the PSP or the DS.
Oh, there's some really good PSP titles down there I'd love to play, but
I got some really good. I'm gonna get to. I never do. I was like, I'm just gonna sell it when the price gets really high, and gotta be that.
We're gonna retire someday and need something to do, right?
If you make it.
That's true.
You still want to play games when you're 75 years old?
Yeah, there's that. If your hands work, right?
Yeah.
If you could see, that's my problem right now. Those tiny screens. Can't see anything.
Yeah.
Creep over there. He said he'll take your all your Vita stuff.
Yeah. That you bring up a good point with holding it. Like even nowadays, trying to play a game on the DS or something is if you got to use the shoulder buttons, my hands can't do it. And I got tiny fingers, very tiny hands. Sadly. So anyways, is that it for you, Kevin? That's big shop at Cops.
Everything. That's right.
And Kevin's right. I'll recant on what I was saying about the bargain bin at Cops is definitely a different story. They are.
Yeah, I wasn't like, generic, like it wasn't for every store. It was specifically for this store.
Kevin knows his shit. He knows what he's doing.
The first thing I do when I go to a record store is I go check out the new arrivals. Forget everything else. Go to the new arrivals, because that is the stuff that just got there, and you might get there before any of the other sharks get there. So your best deal is right there.
Yeah,
that's what I do. And then like the bargain bins or whatever, but some stores it's just not worth it.
No, you're right. Especially with Cops.
Right. Yeah, it's just the way they're set up there. But it's a good store. I really like it. I can find stuff that's reasonably priced there. And I like how they have a Canadian section too. That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Well, they have a store downtown when I used to work downtown Toronto, and it was very high end there.
Yeah, you need to highlight Josh's comment there.
Send it on over, Josh. Put in the pile for Bill's stuff. And I'll gladly work it. So there we have it. A little extended bonus edition of the vinyl collection. Went a little bit over time, but we had a big pre-show, which was fun. If you missed it, hit the rewind button and see us. Had a good Stern Show chat and lots of good fun stuff there until these two late birds showed up.
Better late than never.
Had baseball fantasy draft. I had to make decaf.
Priorities, man. That's true.
Yeah.
He's going to win the league, Deke. It's over.
When it comes to friendship, Deke's up here and Bill, you're not as high as Deke.
I get that. I get that.
I bet you Deke wouldn't send you the shittier the albums, right? Like if you had.
He'd send me the good stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
He's actually just sent me, just give me his Amazon credit card. Said, go nuts. Go on.
Ooh. Yeah.
We'll do, Deke. Yeah.
Well, with that, thanks everyone in the chat for joining us. It was a lot of fun seeing you guys there, supporting the channel as usual. I very much appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. We'll come back with the vinyl collection in about maybe a week and a half, something like that, and it will be our 1 year show again. The panel here has something special planned for me, so that will be exciting. Stay tuned for that. We'll have a big surprise when that happens. That'll be cool. I'm going to say it now, so I have to do it. I promise you I'm going to update our thumbnail with new graphics for that. I'm on nights. I got time. I'm going to update the graphics. I'm going to get nice pictures of you guys. So send me those studio headshots and we'll get that all worked out. So look for a new thumbnail for that.
When are we getting a new STC pod?
Applications are out right now for
guest
hosts.
Is it done? Is it over? Is it rest in peace or what?
It is not over right now. I did have a little chat with my co-host Joe about our next recording, and he's going through some stuff right now. He's not feeling up to it, so he needs. He's like, I'm just not into anything right now. I'm like, well, you put out 3 videos a week on your channel.
Because he's into a lot of stuff on his channel.
So yeah, but talking, I'm not. Okay, well, whatever. So, but
he does talk in those videos, though.
Yeah, and he's upping his personality game, as I've noticed in those videos too.
Once he dyed that beard, dude, it was
game over.
Yeah. R.I.P. STC.
Hey, if anyone wants to do a STC pod with me, I'd love to have a guest co-host come on and we'll do a show. I got lots to talk about. I have like weeks of stuff to talk about. I need to get out there.
Is it better than your magnet?
Do you see the use I got out of this thing today? It's full of notes now.
Great.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So yeah, if you have more swag you want to send the STC channel, you just send it. Look for my details in the main page of the YouTube
channel. There's any plumbers
channel
in the area who want to leave any of
their paving companies?
Yeah,
want to leave
right.
And if you want to sell your home, talk to Hans. The Hans team will totally help you with that and give you the most money you're looking for. No problem. Yeah, so we'll be back in a little while. Be 1 year anniversary. Vinyl Show will be back. More content coming on this channel. We have the whole Harvard University concert coming out soon that I did a short clip for earlier this week. So Bob and company, that was Larry Campbell's final show in the fall of 2004. I'm prepping that for hopefully the weekend it'll come out. And I will, Denise, sorry, I'm making my branding even bigger for that one. It's going to be little tiny Bob in the corner, just overlooking my huge subscribe. Yeah, something like that. Hey, you got to, what can you do?
When Rolling Stone put your video on their website, like when the first thing you saw on there was Rolling Stone, right?
True.
Yeah, they didn't have a big STC anywhere.
Right. So you gotta do what you can.
You need a magnifying glass for that shit.
I'm on the phone with Bob's people all the time. They're like, you're doing great. Keep it going.
Keep it up. You're helping him. You're upping his sales, I'm sure.
That's right. Totally. So look for that. What else? Oh, we'll be unboxing that Third Man Records release. Do a deep dive into that. And I'm still trying to talk the kid into letting me go through her record collection on camera. She's still refusing.
Oh, gosh, she's too smart. She doesn't want to rip up.
I'm like, no. I want her to go through it with me. I said, look, we had the 18-year-old Bob last week. He was
she has a TikTok channel or something, buddy. She doesn't want you making her lose followers. She's got to do her content for her own shit. Yes.
Okay. For my guests, my panels here, my panel of guests, the vinyl pundits, the vinyl experts, check out their details in the details and below for this video. You can find them on Twitter and on Letterboxd, where they have lots to say over there. We'll be back later. We'll see you, in a little while. That's it. Okay. See ya. Thanks, guys.
Cool. Floral Shop by Macintosh Plus is what kind of blew up, and it's branched off into so many different directions. You got future funk with people like music, but now that's become its own thing. There are future funk albums like the old City Pop from Japan. Where did really blew it up because one of their songs they would cut it up and make it like a back in 2014, like the old City Pop from Japan.